A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Well, Jane disappeared from the Ace's home last night and took Cokie with her. She went to Neil, the newspaper reporter, and prevailed upon him to get Cokie another fight. She said she wasn't going back home till Cokie had made good. Neil is arranging for the fight, and Jane, now Cokie's manager, is hiding out with Neil's mother. This episode takes place the next morning, and is in 3 scenes. Neil's home, the Ace's bungalow, and the gymnasium where Cokie works out. First to Neil's, where we find Jane, Neil, and Neil's mother. Listen.
Now, won't you have another helping of scrambled eggs, Mrs. Ace?
No, I don't think I will.
Oh, just a little more.
Well, all right, since you asked me twice. I'm just ravishing this morning. I don't know when I've been so hungry.
You won't have time, Jane. We've got to get to that gymnasium.
Now, son, if Mrs. Ace wants some more eggs...
Just call me Jane, please. Will you, Mrs. Williams?
If you wish it, my dear.
Sure, and you call Mom Mother.
All right, and you can call me...
I can call you right now. Come on, we've got to get going. What kind of a prize fight manager are you? You've got to get your boy into action. He'll be waiting for us there. Come on, Jane.
Well, all right. Only I have to stop on the way and buy a turtleneck sweater.
A sweater? You don't need
Oh, yes. All prize fight managers have sweaters. It'll only take a minute. I saw one downtown the other day, a sky blue with a...
Who ever heard anybody dressing up for a day's work at the gym?
Well, this is not dressing. You have to wear the right things, don't you, Mother?
I suppose so, my dear. But you'd better have another helping of these eggs.
Not now, Mother. She hasn't got time.
No, I guess I better not after all. I have to get some tennis shoes and things like that.
Oh, you won't have time for all that truck, Jane. This is serious, honest-to-goodness work that Cokie has to do to get into shape for this fight next week.
I know it. That's why I want to look my best.
What's that got to do with Cokie winning a fight?
Well, I don't want anything to go wrong. Suppose he lost just because his manager didn't look just right. Wouldn't I feel bad? And it would spoil the whole thing. I won't go back home till he wins. And won't they be surprised when we walk in after the fight?
Yes, I guess they will.
You guess they will. I'll bet anything they will.
No, thanks. I never bet on fights.
Were they really worried about me when you went over there last night?
Were they? I wish you could have seen them.
They were, huh? Marge, too?
Both of them at their wits' end.
They were, huh? You didn't tell them where I was or what I was going to do.
Me? Why, Jane, what do you take me for? You know I wouldn't do a thing
I
like
sent him that note like you made me promise. I just said I was all right, not to worry, and not to look for me, but I would come home soon with a big surprise. I had all I could do not to tell them in the note what the surprise was going to be. I bet they're worried now what the surprise is, don't you think?
No doubt, yeah. Now, let's get going.
What did they say?
What did they say? Well, they just...
Was Mr. Ace's hair all tasseled like he couldn't sleep and he needed to shave or anything like that?
Well, considering that you'd only been missing about 4 hours, I can't say that it was.
Oh. How about Marge? She didn't... Oh, well, did she cry?
Well, to tell you the truth, Jane, she did. Yeah, and don't you start now. I hope you're satisfied. You gave them the scare of their lives, and we gotta go. Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye, son.
Well, they won't be so worried after they get my note, will they?
What? Oh, no, of course not.
Oh, that's good. I just wanted to worry them a little. I bet you could hardly keep from telling them, could you?
No, I could. What's the use of going over all that? Let's get going. Dinner at 5:30, Mother?
5:30, son.
Because I gotta get to work at 7. Looks like I'm going to be working night and day for a while getting Cokie ready for this fight. Come on, Jane.
Did you act like you were worried, too?
Did I what?
Well, you should have acted like you were worried, too. If you didn't, they'd guess that you knew where I was. Do you think they guessed? Did you say something or do something that they might...
Oh, stop asking so many questions. Cokie will be waiting for us.
Well, I just wanted to know if you did.
Now, Jane, do you think I'd betray your confidence? Me, a newspaper man? Perish the thought. Come on. So long, Mother. I'll see you at 5:30. Come on, Jane. Make it fast.
Well, that's the funniest note I think I ever read in all my life. If Neil hadn't told us last night where she was, this note would have put a scare into me that I never would have gotten over.
Listen to this part, Marge, this line here. You can look for me high and dry.
High and dry.
But you'll never find me. Only don't worry about me. Your affectionate wife, X. Signed X.
That P.S., that kills me. What was that again?
Oh, yes, P.S. Don't forget to take the pan out from under the ice box. Oh, well, we we could laugh now, but I don't mind telling you, I didn't feel like laughing last night.
Yes, my respect for you went up quite a few notches after your demonstration of a distraught husband last night.
Oh, stop it. Who wouldn't be distraught with that brother of hers dashing in here with a policeman? And after I told him we didn't want a policeman.
Yes, and you trying to explain to the policeman why you hadn't been talking to Jane.
Yes.
And how she went out of the room to count 100. That staggered him. He couldn't get that at all. But I still say the happiest thought I ever had was calling Neil over, and you were against that, if you remember.
Well, did I know she had run to him?
Poor Neil. He certainly hated to give Jane away. But he saw the spot we were going to be in. What with the police here?
What do you mean you hated to give her away? You had to tell us. That would have been fine, wouldn't it? To let me go on worrying myself gray as to where she was.
Well, what are you going to do? Just let her go on hiding?
Oh, sure. Let her go on hiding. Let her have her fun. Her heart's set on Cokie fighting again. She's so hard to convince that he can't fight. Wait till she sees the trimming he gets from this pug that Neil's arranged for Cokie to meet.
Neil says he's got one of the toughest in the business.
Tough. I've seen this Palooka fight. He'll knock Jane's prize fighter so flat.
Poor Jane. It'll break her heart.
Well, she wanted to get into the fight racket. This ought to convince her that Cokie should take that job in the department store that I got for him, and we can forget about him. He's on his own now. He's 21. Let him take care of himself.
Well, just the same, it's kind of a dirty trick to play on Jane. I mean, if the kid hasn't really got a chance.
Well, he hasn't. Don't worry about that part. Neil and I both agreed on that. Neil said it was the only way to get it out of Jane's system, to give the kid a nice lacing and convince him and Jane that a job is the best thing for him.
She says she won't come home till he wins.
Don't worry about that part. Won't come home till he wins. She'll be tickled to death to come home when she sees him here flat, lying there on the ring flat on his back.
Yes, maybe she will. We're going to be there, you know.
Yeah, I should say we are.
But out of sight of Jane, though.
Oh, sure.
When's the fight come off?
Well, Neil said next week, I guess about the middle of the week, down at the Coliseum where the other fight was.
Every time I think of that note.
Yes, don't forget to take the pan out from under the icebox.
And sign with an X.
I'll bet they're still worried about where I am, don't you?
I suppose so. Here we are, right in here, Jane. I guess Cokie's already here.
Oh, well, this is a nice gymnasium, isn't it?
There he is now.
Oh, I'm going to put my turtleneck sweater on right away.
Hey, Cokie! Come on over.
Oh, wait till I get it on. I want to surprise him.
Hi, Cokie. How's the boy?
Oh, fine, Mr. Williams.
Been working out, I see, huh? That's good. Now, I'll tell you what I'd like to
Oh,
see
hello,
you...
Cokie.
Hello.
I just want this sweater to wear while you work out.
Oh, gee.
You like it?
Oh, boy.
That's nice. And I've got a pair of tennis shoes.
Okay, kid, snap into it.
What?
Let's get going before the crowd gets here. All the pugs in town will be here soon. I want to get a private look at you.
All right. What do you want me to do?
What have you been doing? Skipping rope?
Yes, sir.
Well, suppose you give me a sample of just how you look and... Oh, wait a minute. There's Mike Wheeler. Hiya, Mike. Come on over.
Hiya, Newshound. Hey, is this the Palooka you got for my boy?
Yep, this is Kid Cokie. Meet Mr. Wheeler, Cokie.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Yeah, same here.
This is Mrs. Ace. She's Cokie's manager.
His manager?
Yep.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance, Mr. Wheeler. This is the first time I've been in a gymnasium like this. You haven't got a swimming pool, have you?
A swimming
No,
pool?
Jane, this is a gym where all the prize fighters work out. You see...
Oh, I bought this turtleneck sweater. Do you think it looks all right, Mr. Wheeler?
A sweater?
Yes, I was wondering about this shade of blue. It's kind of dusty in here. Maybe I should have gotten darker blue. What do you think?
Well, what?
I think it's all right, Jane. Mr. Wheeler doesn't go in for sweaters himself. He's a prize fight promoter, you know. Got a lot of boys in his stable.
Stable?
Well? Oh, just a term, Jane. You'll get onto him before long. Well, I guess the kid might as well get started.
Yeah, I guess he might as well.
Glad I saw you again, Mike.
Oh, just a minute, Neil, if you can spare it.
Sure.
Hey, can I talk to you in private?
Oh, certainly, Jane.
Oh, well, how do you like these tennis shoes I got, Mr. Wheeler? I thought of getting slippers at first, but the man said...
Oh, they're fine, Jane. Now, suppose you take Cokie over there. I think that end of the gym over there where the sun's coming in. Take him over there and get him started.
What do you mean?
Well, you're his manager.
Say, is this on the level? Is she...
I'll talk to you about it in a minute, Mike. Go ahead, Jane. Take Cokie and get him working out. I'll be right over.
All right, come on, Cokie.
Where?
Oh, come on with me now. I'll show you. Give me your hand.
I don't want to go.
Now, Cokie, Mother knows best.
Mother?
Come on, just follow me. Don't be afraid. Oh, these shoes feel so light on my feet. Isn't this marvelous? Come on, over here.
I'll be right with you, Jane.
Say, who is that Jane?
Don't worry, Mike. She means well.
What's that mother stuff?
Well, it's a long story. She and her husband wanted to adopt an orphan, and by mistake, they got this 20-year-old boy.
20 years?
He's 21 now, but we won't go into that. I just didn't want you to spill anything in front of her. I matched the kid with your boy because he's got to be knocked out, once and for all.
Well, if Ruffy ever hits him, it'll be once and for all right. Huh. What a palooka he is, and with her training him...
Yeah, I know. But that's the point. She thinks he's got a chance. Now, the idea, Mike, is to get the prize fight racket out of her mind, see? And out of the kid's mind, too. He thinks he's got a chance, too, you know.
With Ruffy?
Sure, I know he hasn't, and you know he hasn't. But there's no reason we have to let him know it or let her know it. Get the idea?
I've seen a lot of screwy things in this racket, but never anything like that.
Like what, Mike?
Well, that blue sweater that she was
wearing.
wearing.
Now, look. I've done a lot of favors for you on the paper, haven't I? Now, I'm asking you for just one favor.
I get you. How many rounds do you want to let him stay?
Oh, say 2, maybe 3, just to make it look kosher. Understand?
I get you. Okay, boy.
Thanks, Mike. I better get over there. My charges seem to be having some trouble getting started. I'll see you later, Mike.
Yeah, see you later.
Well, what seems to be the difficulty here?
Now, Cokie, you have to work out. I'm your manager. Look at this sweater I bought. How will it look if you don't do what I say?
Well, I am working out.
Well, this is no time for playing. You've got to win this fight, and we got...
I am going to win.
Wait a minute. What's wrong?
Oh, he won't work out like I asked him. He just wants to stand there and play.
Play?
Yeah, look at him. He keeps skipping with that rope. You tell him, Neil. Tell him to put it away and start working out.
He is working out, Jane. Fighters skip rope to get into condition.
Oh, no, not in my stable they don't. Now, you put that rope down and start working out, Cokie.
Well, Jane, as a fight manager, doesn't seem to know all the ropes as yet. But she learns, as we shall learn, when next we meet the Easy Aces.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2... X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, the time, 150 years from now. The place, a luxury spaceship en route to Venus. The story, Venus is a Man's World, by William Tenn.
Some fellows are lucky. They have brothers, but not me. I have nothing but sisters. 2 of them, Carrie and Evelyn. Sometimes Carrie isn't too bad, for a girl, I mean. But Evelyn, boy, she's hopeless. It was Evelyn's idea to put me on that spaceship, jam-packed with 300 females, and all of them aching to get themselves husbands. In the one place that's still to be had, the planet Venus. Well, anyway, 20 minutes after we took off from the spaceport, I was bored stiff.
Ferdinand, do stop fidgeting and sit down.
I don't have anything to do.
Well, I'll read to you and Carrie. Would you like that?
No. I want to do something.
What's the name of the book, Sis?
Well, it's titled Family Problems of the Frontier Woman. Doesn't it sound intriguing?
Peachy keen.
That's enough out of you, young man. Why don't you take a walk around the ship?
Can I go with Ferdinand, Sis?
Well, wouldn't you rather we start the book?
You should, Carrie. Every girl should read about the family problems of the frontier woman.
Keep quiet, you boy.
Oh, children, let's have enough of that. Now, go ahead, run along, you two. And Carrie, look after Ferdinand. See that he keeps out of mischief.
Gee, this is one big ship, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
I sort of wish we were on a cargo ship instead of this liner.
Why? This is super.
On a cargo ship, we could go climbing from deck to deck on a ladder. We could even go to the bridge or the forecastle and talk with the crew.
That's silly. Why would anyone want to do that?
Because ship's crews are men.
Only because we women are too busy with important things like government to run ships.
Says you. Hey, what are you looking at?
The sign. In the event of disaster affecting the oxygen content of the companionway, break glass with hammer upon wall. Remove spacesuit and proceed to don it.
Boy, I hope we have that kind of a disaster. I sure would like to get into one of those.
Oh, you're silly.
Hey, let's go exploring down this way. I see some portholes.
And I see a sign that says, notice, passengers are not permitted past this point.
Come on, there's no one around. And besides, I'm not really a passenger.
Ferdinand, you say you're not really a passenger. Well, what do you mean?
You have to be a citizen of a planet in order to get a passport, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm telling you. Ever since they passed that Maley Suffrage Act, only women can be Earth citizens. You and Evelyn are passengers, all right. But me, I'm just a male dependent. So when a sign says, off limits for passengers, doesn't mean me. I'm not a passenger, see?
Keep away from that door, Ferdinand. Can't you see the sign?
You and your old sign.
Ferdinand, let's go back to the cabin.
I want to see what's behind this door.
If you don't come back with me this very minute, I'll tell Evelyn.
So what? Hey, this looks like a sonic clock. I wonder if it works by knock or voice.
Ferdinand, I'm going.
Say, I remember one voice key. I wonder if it'll work. 2023, open sesame.
Ferdinand!
Out of all the million possible combinations, I hit it just right. The door clicked open into a dimly lit hole. As the door closed, a hand closed around my throat. The lights came on, and I found myself staring up the muzzle of a highly polished blaster, held by the biggest man I'd ever seen. We just stood there looking at each other for a while, till finally he said...
Why, you're only a tadpole.
Sir?
A little tadpole. I must be getting jumpy enough to splash.
My name is Ferdinand Sparling. I'm very pleased to meet you, Mr.
I hope for your sake you weren't a tadpole brother to one of them husbandless Senora.
Husbandless what?
Senora, herd of females looking a nest. I come from Flatway, folks.
You're a Venusian?
Yep. What part of Earth are you from? And what are you doing on a spaceship to Venus?
You know, the 3 out of 4.
How's that?
The 3 out of 4. No more than 3 women out of every 4 on Earth can expect to find husbands. Not enough men to go around, with the Third Atomic War and all. Why, back in the 20th century, some of our best men went to the planets. My sister Evelyn says that by now, most of the men on Earth aren't even worth marrying.
That's for sure. Those busybody Senora took care of that. Earth, what a place. I had a belly full.
Why did you come in the first place?
I came looking for a wife. Women are pretty scarce on Venus. I heard that there was a surplus of them on Earth.
I can't understand why any man would even want to marry a woman.
How old are you, Tadpole?
13, almost 14.
Well, that explains a lot of things, Tadpole.
It doesn't explain why you're heading back to Venus.
Because I was in trouble the minute I landed on that woman's world. I didn't know I had to register at a government-operated hotel for transient males. Imagine, they told me a man couldn't say anything in court. All talking was done by female attorneys to a female judge. But I told him off. I told him where I come from, a man spoke his piece when he had a mind to, and his woman walked by his side.
Well, what happened?
Oh, I was found guilty of this and contempt of that. But I wasn't going to serve all those fancy little prison sentences, so I broke out and stowed away.
You mean that you're breaking the law right now?
Sure, aren't you?
Oh, I guess so. I'm also a man outside the law. We're in this together.
Shake, Ferdinand. Ferdinand? That's not a right label for a sprouting tadpole. I'll call you Ford. My name's Butt. Butt Lee Brown.
Is Butt a nickname like Ford?
Yeah, short for Alberta. But I haven't found a man who can draw a blaster fast enough to call me that. You see, Pop came over in the 80s with the first wave of immigrants from Ontario. Named all of us boys after Canadian provinces. I was the youngest, so I got the name they were saving for a girl.
Golly, Mr. Butt, you must have had a lot of brothers.
Yeah, full nest. They're Sass. His real name is Saskatchewan. Manny after Manitoba. And Uke, he was named for Yukon. I got one for every province and territory in Canada.
Golly, all I have is 2 sisters.
Oh? Tell me about them.
Well, there's Carrie. She's almost 16.
Hey, well, how about your other sister? She a little older?
She's old, all right. Evelyn's almost 21.
She pretty?
Who?
Your sister Evelyn.
Oh, I don't know. She's healthy. She's got very good teeth.
If I know her breed, she's bossy and opinionated.
Well, are no women?
Oh, there goes the dinner gong forward. You better scat. Growing tadpoles need their vitamins.
Could I bring you some chow? I could stuff it in my pocket and sneak it back here.
No, thanks. I've stashed away enough provisions. I got plenty of kelp and Venusian mud grapes to last the trip. Oh, you better shove off, Ford. They'll start looking for you.
Guess I had better. Well, I'll see you right after dinner, Mr. Butt.
Just plain butt to you, Ford.
Oh, okay. I'll be seeing you. 2023. Open sesame.
Ferdinand, please be seated. I want to talk with you.
Now? They just rang the dinner gong.
I am aware of that. Now, where have you been?
Around.
I demand a straight answer. Where have you been, Ferdinand?
I told you, sis, around. And don't call me Ferdinand. Call me Ford. That's what Bud calls me.
Bud? Who is Bud?
Oh, nobody. I just made it up.
Ferdinand?
I can't tell you. I can't.
You must.
Well, you promise you won't turn him in. Well, Bud's my friend. He's a Venusian. He's going home.
Aboard our ship, the Eleanor Roosevelt? Ferdinand, don't you realize you've been consorting with a stowaway, a criminal? What sort of antisocial ideas has this warmongering masculinist been putting into your head?
Bud's a nice guy. He asked about you.
Oh, indeed.
I told him you had very good teeth.
Really? Well, take me to this man.
I will if you promise not to turn him in.
No, I promise.
He's in there. The door has a sonic lock. I know the combination. Watch. 2023. Open sesame.
Oh, it's so dark in there.
Bud. Hey, Bud. I brought along my sister Evelyn. She'd like to meet you. It's all right. Put on the lights.
Oh.
An honor, Miss Sparling. Please come right in.
First, Mr. Bott, I want...
Brown. Butley Brown.
First, Mr. Brown, you realize that you are committing two crimes. One, the political crime of traveling without a visa, and two, the criminal act of stowing away without paying your fare.
Golly, sis, that's no way to talk to Bud.
I take it you either have no defense or care to make none.
I wonder if all the Inura talk like that. And you want to foul up Venus.
We haven't done so badly on Earth after the mess you men made of politics.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, hear, hear.
Oh, you keep quiet, Ferdinand. And another point, Mr. Butley Brown. I don't suppose you know that under space regulations, you've made this poor child an accessory.
But didn't make me anything.
Let's not talk law, female. Let's talk sense. I'm in trouble because I went to Earth to look for a wife. You're standing right here now because you're on your way to Venus for a husband. So, let's.
Let's? Let's what? Are you daring to suggest
now,
that...
Miss Sparling, no hoopla. I'm saying let's get married, and you know it.
Gee, sis, say yes.
And what makes you think that I consider you a desirable husband?
Figure it this way. If you wanted a poodle, you're pretty enough to pick one up on Earth. When you go charging off to Venus, you don't want a poodle, you want a man, and I'm one. I own 3 islands in the Galertan Archipelago. Good farmland when they're cleared. I got no bad habits, outside of having my own way. I'm passable good-looking. My teeth are good, too. Besides, if you marry me, you'll be the first mated on this ship, and that's a splash most nesting females like to make.
You know, there's more to marriage than just doing...
So there is. Well, we can try each other for taste. Now, me, I'd vote yes.
Me too. I'd vote yes.
Now I'll cast my vote.
Well, you guessed it. She broke her promise. I suppose the kiss did it. She put it a stowaway to the captain, and he sent the detail from the ship's crew to halt Butt off to the brig. Well, later that afternoon, all the passengers, 300 females and me, gathered in the lounge for the hearing. It's all on account of you. Shush. Don't shush me. You promised you wouldn't get Butt into trouble. Oh, you snitch.
Shush. The captain is rapping for quiet.
By authority vested in me under the Pomona College Treaty, the stowaway, a Venusian, Butley Brown, will be tried for violation of Articles 16 to 21 inclusive of the Space Transport Code. Purser, bring in the prisoner.
Ladies! Those cheap extroverts, and they call themselves responsible.
Ladies! Dear ladies! Thank you, ladies. Butley Brown, I order your person and belongings impounded for the duration of this voyage as set forth in sections 41 and 45.
Captain, the sections are 43 and 45.
You're quite right, Miss Sparling. Sections 43 and 45 of the Mother Anita Law Emergency Interplanetary Directives.
Aren't you even going to give me a fair trial before you hang me?
Ladies, I beg of you, ladies.
Captain, what exactly are the charges against me?
You're a stowaway.
I can pay for my passage.
You can? Well, then I guess we can dismiss the charges. Ladies, gentle ladies.
Just a moment, Captain.
Yes, Miss Sparling?
I demand justice. You can't let him off that lightly. Besides, there's the other charge.
What other charge?
Assault. That comes under sections 18 through 35 of the McDonald Law.
It does? Well, then would you tell the court in your own words exactly what happened?
Well, when I first laid eyes on Mr. Brown, he seemed to be a fundamentally decent chap, despite his barbaric notions on equality between the sexes, or worse. I was positive I could shame him into a more rational social behavior and make him give himself up.
Go on, Miss Sparling.
Just as I was getting over the colossal impudence involved in his proposing marriage and was considering the offer seriously, on its merits, as one should consider all suggestions, he deliberately dropped the pretense of reason.
Get her.
Ferdinand!
My name is Ford, and you're nothing but a big snitch. You promised not to get Butt into trouble.
Your name is Ferdinand, and stop trying to act forcefully like a girl. It doesn't become you.
Miss Sparling, did I understand you to say that you were considering Mr. Brown's proposal of marriage?
That is true. I will not deny that he appealed to me. He appealed to me as most savage ancients appeal to their women, as an emotional machine. Throw the proper switches, says his theory, and the female surrenders herself ecstatically to the doubtful and bloody murk of masculine plans.
I'm afraid I still don't understand. What exactly did Mr. Brown do?
He kissed me.
Ladies, please, ladies. Mr. Brown, do you deny kissing Miss Sparling?
No. Miss Sparling, do you deny enjoying the kiss?
Your question is irrelevant and immaterial.
Oh, she enjoyed it.
How would you know?
Well, I was right there. I could tell the way she acted. She sort of held the back of his neck, closed her eyes, and just hung on.
What were you doing there?
I introduced him. I met Bud first. Then I took Sis over there to meet him.
I see. Ferdinand Sparling, I hereby order your detention for the duration of this voyage for aiding and abetting a stowaway as set forth in sections 41
43
and 43
and 45.
And 45.
And you can't arrest Ferdinand. He's only a child. You gave me your word no charges would be lodged against the boy.
That was the usual promise one makes to an informer. But I made it before I knew it was Butley Brown you were talking about. I didn't want to arrest Butley Brown. You forced me. So I'm breaking my promise to you, just as I understand you broke your promise to your brother. I'm afraid both Ferdinand and Butley Brown will be picked up at New Kalamazoo Spaceport and sent terrorward for trial.
But I used all our money to buy passage.
I'm sorry. You'll have to return with your brother. Of course, there is a way out.
There is? Well, tell me, please.
Miss Sparling, if you'd marry Brown... Now, don't look at me like that. If you'd marry Brown, he would go on your passport as a dependent male member of your family.
Do you think I'd marry that desperado? Why, he doesn't know enough to sit back and let a woman run things. Captain, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'll marry him!
Perhaps I should be, but that's what comes of putting men in responsible positions. See here, Miss Sparling, I didn't want to arrest Brown. I'd still prefer not to. The officers and crew of my ship all go along with me.
Why not? Men always think like men. They never use logic. They just rely on masculine intuition.
Maybe so. This ship's crew are all residents of Earth. But our work requires us to be on Venus several times a year. We wouldn't want to cross any member of the Brown clan. They're all men of influence on the polar continent.
I wouldn't doubt that for a second. If anyone gets in their way, they merely oxidize them with a blaster.
Take Butt. He's a big man in his own bailiwick, the Galertan Archipelago. When he wants to put somebody in office, well, He just appoints them.
Mr. Brown has that much influence, you say?
Power, actually. The kind a strong man usually wields in a newly settled community.
Oh, Mr. Brown, if I marry you, would you promise to see that I'm appointed resident governor of the Galerton Archipelago?
No.
Attaboy, Bart. Don't give in.
Ferdinand, this does not concern you. Mr. Brown, I might even consider a county clerkship.
Nope.
Stick by your blasters, Bart. Show her you're a real man.
Mr. Brown, it would seem to me that if you really want to marry this attractive young lady, a compromise could be worked out.
Well, I could make her sheriff.
Oh, no.
Would the position of sheriff of the Galerton Archipelago be acceptable, Miss Sparling?
Yes.
Good. I'll marry you here and now.
I want to be a bridesmaid. Always a bridesmaid. Never a bride. That's the every time.
But you shouldn't have sold out. Why did you do it? You don't have to marry her for my sake. I wouldn't care what they did to me.
That's all right, Tadpole. I'd do anything for my favorite brother-in-law.
I'd sure like to be your brother-in-law. But gosh, you don't have to marry Sis. You could have any one of these 300 females. Why marry Sis?
I'm stubborn. What I like at first, I keep on liking. What I want at first, I keep on wanting until I get it.
Yeah, but making her sheriff, what's going to happen to our man's world?
Don't worry none about that, Ford, my boy. Wait till after we meet and go out to my islands. She'll find herself sheriff over exactly 2 Earth males, you and me. And I got a hunch that'll keep her pretty busy, huh? How about that,
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features An Eye for a What? A story of the Earthmen who thought they couldn't hurt a friendly alien if their lives depended on it, while all the time their lives did depend on it. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you Venus is a Man's World, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by William Tenn and adapted for radio by Arthur Small. Featured in our cast were Dennis Bellavio as Ford, Bob Haig as Butt, Jerry Ann Raphael as Carrie, John Gibson as the captain, and Frederica Chandler as Evelyn. This is Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Next week, X-1 presents Trap by Finn O'Donovan. Fur hunters tangle with a bottle of firewater and a new kind of trap which catches more than they bargain for. We hope you'll be listening next week at this same time. This week, the Boy Scouts are celebrating their 47th year of service to American youth. Throughout the country, there will be open houses, courts of honor, indoor and outdoor campfires, cub circuses, scout expositions, explorer events, and other special activities. This is the second year of the 4-year program, Onward for God and My Country, which was launched to help prepare America's boys to live in today's world and prepare them to carry their full share in the years ahead. It's designed to give youth an opportunity to develop physical fitness, self-reliance, a sense of personal responsibility, a spirit of helping people, a willingness to share, an understanding of our government's democratic processes, and a firm spiritual foundation. On Sunday, February 10th, churches of all faiths will observe Boy Scout Sunday, with Scouts attending services in uniform. The world on a new hotline. Listen for news on the hour and the exciting hotline service all day, every day, on most of these stations.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, The Trap by Finn O'Donovan.
Samish, I am in need of some assistance. The situation is potentially dangerous, so come at once. It shows how right you were, Samish, old friend. I never should have trusted a Terran. What a sorry mess, Samish, and the plot seemed so foolproof.
Hey, Thurston, get up. Get up, come on.
Why? What's the matter? Why?
Come on, it's daybreak.
Now, there's good news. Let me alone.
Oh, come on. You don't want to sleep through our vacation. The bird's on the wing.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning in the Adirondacks is the middle of the day.
What's the weather out?
Oh, it's raining.
For crying out loud.
Oh, don't go back to sleep.
It always rains on the first day of vacation. Rule of nature.
Look, I got a little fly rod with a new plastic reel that I'm just dying
to
what
try. The trouble with you is, Ed, you're in love with sporting goods equipment.
Oh, now, wait till you see this rod.
You take that rifle I sold you. You could shoot a rhinoceros with it, but you won't, because, Ed, you're essentially a friendly man.
The trouble with you is you don't like the woods.
Well, how can you say that? Don't I come with you on a hunting trip every year?
Sure, but you always manage to steer us over to Lake Placid to the cocktail lounges.
Ah, now there's real hunting. Now, there are trophies to bring back to the city. None of your paltry brown bears or black bears.
Oh, come on. Now, Thurston, I came up here to the mountains to hunt.
Have a drink.
Well, it's awfully early in the morning.
Well, look upon it as an extension of last night.
Well, all right. Oh. Think it'll stop raining?
No, who cares?
Well, come on now. Get dressed. It's a perfect day out there in the woods for bear.
It certainly is. That's why I want to stay right here in the cabin. Ed.
What?
Past the canteen?
It's empty.
Well, open up one of the bottles and pour it in.
Well, why don't you take it straight from the bottle?
What, on a camping trip? Pour it into the canteen.
Okay.
Hey. Now, this is what I call a hunting trip.
Well, you haven't been outside the cabin. Oh, come on, Thurston. Can't we go out just to hunt something, even if it's just a little rabbit? Look. It stopped raining.
Now, close the door. Now, you let some of the fumes out. Did you fill that canteen yet?
Hey, look at this.
What?
Right by the door.
How many times have I told you not to leave your collapsible cook stove where I can step on it in the night?
It isn't.
What is it?
I don't know. It's made out of metal. It's just sitting here in the doorway. It says, trap on the top.
What?
Trap.
Where'd you buy that?
I didn't.
Well, I certainly didn't.
Hey, there's a tag on it. Dear friend, this is a new and revolutionary design in a trap. To introduce the trap to the general public, we are giving you this model absolutely free. You will find it a unique and valuable device for the capture of small game, provided you follow precisely the directions on the other side. Good luck and good hunting. Well, now, what do you think of that?
Pass me the canteen.
If this isn't the strangest thing, do you suppose it was left during the night?
Oh, who cares?
Well, aren't you interested?
Not particularly. It's just another gadget. I've got 100 like it. That bear trap from Abercrombie and Fitch, the jaguar horn from Battlers, the crocodile lure.
Well, I've never seen a trap like this. It's pretty clever advertising to just leave it here.
Well, they'll bill you for it eventually. You care for the canteen?
Oh, thanks. Hey, look at this thing, Thurston.
Do I have to?
Well, there are instructions on the other side. Quote, Take the trap to a clearing and anchor it to any convenient tree with the attached chain. Here's the chain, all right. Press button 1 on the base. This primes the trap. Wait 5 seconds and press button 2. This activates the trap. Nothing more is required until a capture has been effected. Then press button 3 to deactivate and open the trap and remove the prey. Warning: keep the trap closed at all times except when removing the prey.
That's goofy.
No opening is required for the prey's ingress, since the trap works on the principle of osmotic suction and inducts the prey directly into the trap.
Well, somebody's been at that canteen before.
No, that's what it says. What won't they think of next? Osmotic suction.
Pass the canteen back.
I'm going to set it.
What, the canteen?
No, the trap. Come on, help me.
Now that's the trouble with you, Ed. You're always cluttering up a hunting trip with hunting.
Come on, take this in.
All right. If it makes you any happier. Hey, boy, it's cold.
Come on, we'll carry it over to that tree.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Here, let's put it down here.
You think we really ought to fool with it?
Of course. Maybe we can catch a fox.
What will we do with a fox?
Turn it loose. The fun is in the catching. Here, take the end of the chain.
Hey, look out. You got your foot in it.
Yeah, I guess it snaps in here. Oh, there it is.
Let's get back to the cabin. The great outdoors depresses me.
Wait a minute. I've got to press button 1.
Hey, it's glowing.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Now button 2.
Well,
I guess we just leave it.
Well, come on back to the cabin.
All right. It is time for breakfast.
It certainly is. Pass it to me and don't spill it.
Samish, where are you? You are my oldest friend. I have already been through the beginning of my story. The Terrans accepted my trap as a trap, nothing more, and they began using it at once with no thought as to the consequences. I had counted on this. The fantastic curiosity of the species is well known. During this period, my wife was crawling giddily around the planetoid, redecorating our hutch and enjoying the change from city life. Everything was going well.
Ed.
What?
It's your turn.
Okay, here we go. Ready on the right.
Ready on the left.
The flag is up.
The flag is waving.
Target's up.
You missed.
Oh, Thurston, couldn't we just pull the cork out instead of trying to shoot off the neck?
Oh, certainly not. This is a hunting trip. You can pull a cork off in the city.
I have often corked off in the city.
Ed, why don't you shut your trap?
Trap? Why don't... Thurston, the trap.
What about it?
Maybe we caught something. Come on.
Where you going?
The trap. There, look. We got something. We've caught something. Come on, look inside.
What is it, huh?
It's a rabbit.
You sure?
Well, look at it.
That is not exactly a rabbit, Ed.
It's the size of a rabbit.
But it's bright green. Ed, no more rum before breakfast.
No, siree.
Starting tomorrow, hand me the canteen.
What do you think it is?
Could be a rabbit.
Green? With lobster claws? And eyes on stalks?
Well, then again, it might not be a rabbit.
I think it's a new species. We'll have to build a cage and then find out what it eats.
As long as it doesn't drink. You don't suppose it drinks, does it?
No, it doesn't look like a drinking type.
Now, Ed, I'm not going to share my vacation with a green rabbit with lobster claws. Probably has dirty habits. There's something very unnatural about that trap. It's inhuman.
I'll bet they said that about Ford's electric light and Edison's car and the telephone invented by Alexander's ragtime band.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, sure. I saw the movie. Come on. We'll build a cage, and then we'll set the trap again.
Okay, but we better go back to the cabin.
What for?
Better refill that canteen.
Why haven't you come yet? Samish, don't you appreciate the seriousness of my situation? Think of your old friend. Think of the lustrous-skinned Friegel for whose sake I got into this mess. Communicate with me at least. The Terrans used a trap, which of course was not a trap at all, but a matter transmitter. I had the other end concealed on the planetoid and fed into it 3 small animals which I found in the garden. The Terrans removed them from the transmitter each time. For what purpose I couldn't guess, but a Terran will keep anything. After the 3rd beast passed through and had not been returned, I knew that was all, and that everything was in readiness, so I prepared for the 4th and final sending, the all-important one, for which all else was mere preparation.
Ouch. Well, that finishes the cage.
You know what?
No. What?
Those things smell. All 3 of them.
Oh, I think they're very handsome. Well, here they are. 1, 2, and 3. First, our green rabbit. Next, our bird with 3 sets of scaly wings. And this other thing, what does it look like?
Well, it looks like a snake. Except it has a head at each end. They eaten anything yet?
No, I've tried milk, mincemeat, vegetables, caviar, potato chips. They haven't touched a thing.
Maybe they're sick. Hey, what are you keeping them for?
Well, they might come in handy someday.
Oh, yeah? What for?
Thurston, have you ever desired fame?
What?
Fame. The knowledge that your name will go down through the ages.
I am a businessman. I've never considered the possibility.
Never?
What do you have in mind?
These creatures are unique.
And they smell.
We'll present them to a museum. The daily Thurston exhibit of creatures hitherto unknown.
They might name them after us. Our names will go down with Livingston, Audubon, Teddy Roosevelt, Walt Disney.
I was thinking of a wing on the Museum of Natural History that would go right across Central Park West. The Daily Thurston Wing.
Thurston Daily.
That's not alphabetical.
That's true. But, Ed, we only got 3 of them. We can't equip a wing with 3 exhibits.
Well, there must be more where these came from. Let's examine the trap.
Just a minute.
The canteen?
The canteen.
We've got something. There it is. Look, it's about 3 feet tall. A big one.
Uh-huh. A small green head and a forked tail.
Oh, look at him, waving something on top of his head.
Well, the rest were quiet. Maybe this one's dangerous. Huh?
We'll handle it with nuts.
Nuts?
Well, nets.
Oh, nuts. All right.
And then we'll have to get in touch with the museum. Thurston, take a telegram.
All righty.
Museum of Natural History. Dear Sir.
Or Madam.
Have discovered at least 4 animals, which I suspect to be new species. Stop. Have you room for suitable exhibit? Stop. Signed, your friend Ed.
Wasn't that signature pretty informal?
You're right. Make it, your good friend Ed.
We better go back and build a cage for this latest one. It looks awfully exciting.
I think we'll make this one strong. Oh, this last specimen is the cream of our collection. Look at it. Its head is turning pink.
It looks mad, doesn't it?
Well, you'd be mad, too, if you were trapped by osmotic suction.
Say that again.
Osmotic suction.
Here, you take the canteen. I'm way ahead of you.
What, Sammy? The rest of the story? Well, it's obvious enough. After 3 animals had passed through the transmitter, I knew I was ready. Now was the time to tell my wife. Accordingly, I asked her to crawl into the garden with me. Tell me, dear, she said, has something been bothering you of late? Have I displeased you? My dear, I said, you have tried your best, but it just isn't good enough. I'm going to take a new mate. She stood motionless, her cilia swaying in confusion. Then she exclaimed, Freagle! Yes, I told her, the glorious Freagle has consented to share my hutch, and with a clever shove, I pushed her into the matter transmitter. Samish, you should have seen her expression. Her cilia wreathed, and she screamed and was gone. I was free at last, free to mate with the splendid Freagle. Now you can appreciate the full perfection of the scheme. It was necessary to secure the Terran's cooperation, since a matter transmitter must be manipulated at both ends. I had disguised it as a trap, because Terrans will believe anything. And, as a masterstroke, I sent them my wife. Let them try to live with her. I never could. Foolproof. Absolutely foolproof. No one could prove a thing. And then, Samish, then it happened.
Did you get the cage finished?
Yeah, our fourth animal is snug as a bug in a...
It doesn't matter.
Boy, it's a mad one, though. I couldn't help feeling it was trying to tell me something.
Come on. Here's a trap.
It's empty.
But it is. It's empty.
You suppose something's wrong with it?
Maybe there's nothing else to capture.
Oh, that's silly. Why would it capture 4 animals and then stop? I've pressed all the buttons in the right way.
Maybe the battery's down.
Osmotic suction doesn't work on batteries.
How do you know?
Did you ever hear of osmotic suction working on batteries?
No.
You see? There you are.
Well, you got something there. Oh, I know.
What?
Let's go to Lake Placid and forget the whole thing.
No, this thing's got to work. It's got to. The Thurston Daily wing of the American Museum of Natural History is at stake. Would you want that vast edifice across Central Park West to remain empty?
No.
Would you want the Daily Thurston wing to be rented for a garage?
Or a roller skating rink? Oh, horrors, no.
It's got to work again. I'm going to open the top.
Look out.
No, let's just see what's inside here. Ah! My hand. It's gone. My hand.
No, it isn't. It's right there on the end of your arm.
Oh, well, when I put it in the trap, my hand disappeared.
You know what would do you a lot of good? A little rest in Lake Placid. I know a fine, restful cocktail lounge.
No, look. I'll try it again with both arms. Ah, look. No hands.
Very clever.
I see how it works. Thurston, those animals didn't come from the Adirondacks at all.
You mean they're imposters?
They came from wherever my hand is.
Where's your hand?
I don't know. Do you realize there's a lot more where they come from? Thurston, the future of the Daily Thurston wing is assured. Give me a hand up.
Ed, what are you going to do?
I'm climbing into the trap.
Oh, don't do it, Ed. You don't know what's in there.
Here I go. There goes my feet.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's a canteen. Let's have one for the road. Huh?
All right. Wish me luck.
I still don't think you should do it.
I do it for science and the Daily Thurston wing.
Why do you hold your nose?
I got sinus. Here I go.
Samish, if you don't come immediately, it'll be too late. I must stop beaming you. The enormous Terran has completely ransacked my little planetoid. He has shoved everything, living or dead, through the transmitter. My home is in ruins, and now he's tearing down my hutch. Samish, this monster means to capture me as a specimen. There's no time to lose. Samish, what can be keeping you? You, my oldest friend, you... What's that? Samish. Samish, what are you saying? You can't mean it. No. Not you and Friegel. Reconsider, my old friend. Remember our friendship. Remember...
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features The Deep One by Neil P. Ruzick, a story which tells of a single mistake in the plan for survival, the biggest possible mistake. Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Trap, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Finn O'Donovan and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in our cast were Donald Buca as the voice, Ralph Bell as Thurston, and William Redfield as Ed. This is Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
The world on a new hotline. Listen for news on the hour in the exciting hotline service all day, every day on most of these stations.
When Captain Bradford decided to attempt to escape with the rescue boat which Johnson sailed to within a few miles of the Magic Island, Mrs. Gregory and the captain planned to send a code message to Johnson and have him standing by to help them when their fuel ran out. However, it was discovered that even though the captain's formula put all the chemists to sleep in the laboratory, the other Euclideans are very careful in their watch over the island, and the radio message can't be sent from the boat. Jerry and Joan take a desperate chance in going down into the lower levels of the island. And in trying to escape from one of the Euclidean guards, they are climbing down the inside of an elevator shaft when the elevator starts down after them.
Jerry, that car has passed the 4th floor.
Can't you get this door on the 6th floor open?
No. We must just go down as fast as we can and hope the elevator does not catch us.
Come on, then. Hurry up.
I am hurrying, Jerry, but that car sounds very near.
Well, if we have to, we'll yell and give ourselves away.
It would do no good. The inside of the car is so noisy we could not be heard.
Hey, Joan, the elevator stopped.
The guard is leaving the elevator on the 5th level.
He's gone now. Well, I guess he decided we were on the same level with the laboratory.
That does not seem right, Jerry. The guard would know we could not be on that level. There is something else happening.
Hey, what was that for?
That was a general alarm for the laboratory on the 5th level.
Well, let's do something about it.
There is nothing we can do, Jerry. But we must hurry to the bottom of this elevator shaft and try to reach the power chambers in the sub-levels.
Let's hurry it up, then. I'm getting mighty tired of playing tag up and down this little steel ladder in the dark.
We have only about 40 feet to go now, Jerry.
Oh, that's nice. Just about 40 feet more down this ladder. What do we do when we hit the bottom?
There is a steel floor at the bottom and doors open on all sides of the shaft. I will show you which one to use.
I'll be glad to see any kind of a door that will open when we want it to.
If you would talk less and move faster, Jerry, we would soon be down.
Okay with me. Here goes for silence and action. Hey, you stepped on my fingers.
I thought you were going to hurry.
I'll show you some hurrying. Oh, boy. I'm down on the floor.
I will be there in a moment, Jerry.
Hurry up.
Oh, Jerry, that was a long climb, was it not?
Sure was.
We will try this door directly in front of us. Do not use your flashlight, Jerry. We must only feel our way in the dark until we are in a lighted passage.
Okay. How do you open this thing?
Just push it gently, Jerry. It should be quite noiseless.
Well, I'll try it. Yep, it moves all right. Hey, look, Joan. There's a crack of light around the edge of the door now.
Open it very carefully, Jerry. It is possible there will be a guard stationed there.
I'll sneak it open. There it is. Now, that's open far enough to get out through. I don't see anyone yet.
Then it will be safe to go out into the passageway. Go on, Jerry.
Okay. No, not a soul in sight.
Close the door carefully. I think it is noiseless, but we must take no chances.
Right. There it is. Now where?
As you can see, this corridor or tunnel runs around the outside of the lowest level in the island proper. We are now 100 feet below the level of the surface of the island, and about 90 feet below the water level.
And these power rooms we're trying to get to are still further down?
Yes, there are 2 sub-levels under us. The rooms we are interested in are in the first level, directly under our feet.
Then let's get going and do something about it.
We will go carefully and swiftly around this curving passageway to the steps which lead down into the power rooms. And then...
Well, what if we run into one of these guards?
Oh, there is no if, Jerry. We will meet one of them.
Oh, that's nice. What do we do with him?
We must put him to sleep with a ray gun.
Yeah, but what's he going to be doing all this time?
We must give him no chance to do anything. As we start to walk from here, you will walk in front of me. I will point my ray gun at your back as if you were my prisoner.
Well, don't forget, we're just playing it I'm your prisoner.
Oh, do not worry about that. When we meet the guard, I will tell him that I followed you down here and captured you. Then I will find some excuse to walk back here, and he will start the other way with you. That will give me an opportunity to use the ray gun on the back of his head.
All right. Then after this guard goes to sleep, what do we do next?
As this is a 300-second ray gun, the guard will only sleep for 5 minutes. In that time, we must go down into the power rooms, pass such other guards as we have to, shut off the power, and escape from this level.
Oh, and we've got 5 minutes to do all that in. Hey, what do we do in our spare time?
I think that will take nearly all of the 5 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, come on. Let's meet this guard and get it over with. Hey, that means the chemical laboratory again, doesn't it?
Yes, Jerry. Something very important is taking place there. That is the second alarm. And that means that everyone on the island who can is to rush to the 5th level at once.
Oh, how about these guards we've got to meet around here? Will that alarm also get them out of the way?
No, the guards will not leave their places for any reason. But the alarm will call everyone not on guard duty or in the confinement cells.
Say, how about those confinement cells? If everybody on this island is a Euclidean, why do they have to have those guards all over the place and so many cells?
There are a great many people here who are not really Euclideans. Captain Bradford was very near the truth when he said that many of the island people must be no more than prisoners. That is exactly what they are, prisoners, who are made to do all the hard work at the bidding of the Euclidean scientists.
They're not getting much action, whatever it's all about. Let's go and get this over with.
You walk a few steps ahead of me. I will hold this ray gun carefully trained on your back. Remember how you are to act as we meet the guard.
I got it. Come on.
We should meet him just around the curve in the passage. Say no more until we arrive there.
You will stand where you are. Do not advance another step. What are you doing in this passageway?
I am Cleostra. This man is my prisoner, guard. I am taking him to the General Control Chambers for questioning by the Euclidean Board of Governors.
Hey, now look here. I wasn't doing anything. I was...
Silence! What was this man doing here, Cleostra?
I was instructed to guide him to the chemical laboratory on the 5th level. He has an antidote for the sleeping gas which has overcome the scientists.
Oh, well, what if I have?
Silence.
Okay.
Proceed, Cleostra. What is this man doing here?
I took him to the 5th level as instructed. There he broke away from me and reached this level before I could overtake him. For some reason, he has refused to take the formula which he holds to the laboratory.
Why is that, fool?
Because if those Euclideans never wake up, it'll be too soon for me.
So, I think
No, not that guard. He must be taken unharmed before the remaining scientists and compelled to deliver the formula. Then he is to stand close by and watch it compounded in the laboratory. This is to prevent any treachery.
That is well ordered. If he escaped from you once, how can you be sure of delivering him safely there now?
Oh, she can't be. It'll take more than a girl with a ray gun in her hand to take me anywhere. If she uses that thing on me, I'll only go to sleep for 5 minutes. I'm kind of tired anyway.
I have a plan, guard. You take this man to the scientists. Your ray gun will put him in a far different kind of sleep if he resists you. I will attend your station until you return.
It is well. These men in the laboratory must be revived at any cost. I will take him. Precede me, fool. And remember, that this ray gun will put you to sleep for 1,000 years. Walk quickly. That way.
Okay, but you don't have to get so rough about it.
Silence! I will return soon, Cleostra.
That is well. All right, Jerry. You may turn around now.
I hope I can turn around. Yep. My neck moves anyway. Boy, when I heard that ray gun start crying up the back of my neck, I sure got a scare.
You will sleep nicely there for 5 minutes, Jerry. Now we must hurry on.
Boy, he didn't make a sound when he fell on this noiseless floor. Say, talking about making a sound, wouldn't they hear that ray gun down in the power room?
No, Jerry. The power room is not noiseless. It is another room that is kept deliberately noisy, so the human ear will learn to distinguish the sounds of the various machines and whether or not they are in perfect operation.
Okay, come on then. Let's beat it for the power room.
And when we get there, we will just have to walk boldly in. I know the location of the principal switches and valves. We will have to move rapidly. You must do as I tell you about everything you touch. Then our chances of escape will be a matter of seconds, possibly a fraction of a second.
Did you ever try to cut a second up into little pieces?
Of course not, Jerry. But a second does have an element of time within its limits, which gives the human brain scope enough to encompass a considerable flight of mental activity.
I got it. A second gives you long enough to think about all the other places you ought to be when the ray gun starts on you.
Come, Jerry, this is not the time for joking.
I sort of figured that out for myself.
Quiet now. There is the door of the power chamber stairway. We must descend one flight.
All right. Do I just jerk it open?
Yes. Open it barely a crack at first. We may see something of advantage. Slowly and carefully now, Jerry.
Gee, what a place.
It is wonderful, Jerry. There is enough power generated here to light a city in your world.
Boy, I believe it. Well, what do we do now?
Let me see. Yes. Do you see those 2 large valves at the foot of the steps to your left?
Yeah?
You will open those wide and do it quickly. I will open all the switches on the master panel in the center of the room. Then we must run madly back up these steps and out.
But, hey, you're going to take the dangerous part. You'll be farther from the door.
No, Jerry. It will take you longer to open the valves. Now, ready?
Ready?
Then we go.
Over the magic island of Euclidia, that weird, soft darkness of the South Seas is beginning to steal. It's after 7 o'clock in the evening, and the Gregory boat is to attempt its escape promptly at 8 o'clock. Jerry and Joan have gone down into the lower levels of the island to aid the escape by putting some of the Euclidean machinery out of order. In the radio cabin of the Gregory yacht, lashed to the boat which was to have rescued them all, Captain Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are making last-minute preparations for the dash to freedom. They are waiting for word from Jerry and Joan, in the hope that it may be possible to get a radio message off to Johnson.
I know all that, Tex, but why don't we hear from them?
No, take it easy, Pat. Those kids left here at 6:30. It's only about 7:20 now. They've been gone less than an hour. Joan said it would take them over an hour to cover all the places they had to go on the island, even if they had good luck.
That's it. If they had good luck. Don't you realize all the terrible things that might have happened to them in the last 45 minutes?
Of course I realize what might have happened, dear, but...
They're down there inside that awful island somewhere, trying to upset the workings of a mechanically perfect fortress. Just 2 children against the most powerful scientific combination the world has ever known. Why, G-47 alone is dangerous enough without...
G-47 is sound asleep in his chemical laboratory, Pat. He can't do anything to harm those kids.
But he has assistants and guards all over the place, to say nothing of all the mechanical and electrical devices which automatically protect the inner workings of the island.
Yes, and don't forget that Joan has lived 14 years on this island. She has had the freedom of it as a child. She probably knows every nook and cranny of it, as well as the Euclideans themselves.
Tex, the alarm gong. It struck once, then 5 times. What does that mean?
I'm not sure, Pat. But I think the 5 strokes mean the 5th level of the island. That's where the chemical laboratory is.
Then it might mean that Jerry and Joan have been caught on that level. Perhaps some of the chemists woke up before you expected it, and they've caught Jerry and Jones.
You're just making that up, Pat. We didn't expect them back until just before 8. Jones said it might be necessary for them to remain hidden on the island, and only rush to join us here on the boat at the last minute. So we'll have to go ahead and make sure our arrangements are complete to shove off at 8. And just hope the kids make it as we're ready to leave.
Sorry, Tex. I let myself go, I guess.
Come in. Oh, Mac. Come in and close the door.
I've just come to tell you that all's been done that can be done about getting the other boat ready.
That's fine, Mac. Thanks a lot.
Everything out of the hold? All the supplies?
Aye. They're all transferred to the diesel cruiser. And it was no small job getting them through that hole down on the water line.
How about that hole, Tex? When will we cover it?
We'll have to sail with it open. We'll leave this boat through the holes and cast off immediately.
That hole is very close to the water line, Captain. We'll ship a lot of water going out through that swell.
Can't be helped. We'd be caught sure if we tried to cover it here between the piers. I've got a good temporary hatch we can slam in there. By hanging some mats over the hatch, we can be fairly safe.
Remember that we can't use the pumps, Tex. We'll need all the fuel to run the motor.
Yes, and then some. How far have we got a chance to get on that fuel, Mac?
If we slip out of here under sail and keep the sail up after we start the motor, we ought to make 75 miles. There'll be a brisk wind to help us a bit later, I think.
But if we're moving slowly enough for the sail to help us any, we can't make over 15 or 20 knots.
Well, we'll see what the situation is when we sail. Jerry and Joan may give us enough leeway so that we can take our time.
And again, supposing we are caught, we'll have to drag them aboard openly and run for it.
Well, in that case, we'll open the motors wide and let her roar as far as the oil lasts. And hope we can get a message to Johnson before he gets too far north to run back to our aid.
Well, what does that thing mean?
We're not sure, but it's probably something about the chemical laboratory on the 5th level of the island, where the captain's formula put all those scientists asleep.
Oh, now did you know it would do that, Captain?
Yes, and it should keep them asleep long enough to give us a chance to be many miles from this island when they wake up.
But it will also make them very angry when they do wake up.
That can't be helped, Mac. They haven't any love for us as it is. They've only allowed us the freedom we've had in the hopes they'd get another formula of Texas. And if we don't escape, they'll finally find a way to get it.
Well, I'll shove off to the other boat. Let me know as soon as you have news of the young people on the island, if you please.
We'll keep you posted, Johnson.
Oh, I wonder if we've really fooled anyone on the island, Tex.
You mean about Johnson being on another boat and our calling McLeod Johnson?
Yes.
I think so, Pat. Why should they think otherwise?
Jerry said that woman submarine commander knew Johnson wasn't aboard that boat when it arrived. And if she knew it, why not others on the island?
You know, I think Jerry was right about her. She's fed up with this island and these cold-blooded, inhuman machines who call themselves Euclideans. She wants to see our world and learn something of the natural, happy way we live.
It's all true enough, and I think we can trust her. The fact that she deliberately walked into that laboratory and let the gas put her to sleep so it'd help Jerry and Joan get away safely, all that proves her sincerity. But what I meant was, why couldn't someone else on the island have detected Johnson's absence in the same manner as herself?
Well, of course, there's a chance of all that, Pat, but we've got to hope for the best.
That was different, Tex. The gong struck 6 times then.
Yeah. I wonder what's happening on the 6th level. That was what it meant.
I'm afraid it has something to do with Jerry and Joan.
Oh, now you're letting your imagination run away with you, Pat. You don't know any more about what's happening on that island than I do. And that's not much.
That was 7, Tex. 7 strokes on that gong. That'd mean the 7th level. I know it's something about Jerry and Joan. They're being followed, Tex. I can feel it.
Steady, Pat. You don't know anything of the kind.
Did you hear it, Tex? 8. The 8th level. They are following them down into the depths of the island.
Stop it, Pat. Stop it. You're hysterical. You're just imagining things.
I can see them now, Tex. Just as if I were with them. Those terrible bells following them from floor to floor as they try to escape.
That was 9, Jerry. The alarm has come to the 9th floor, just one above us. We must do this quickly.
Right, Joan. You throw these switches, I'll open the valves. Then we run out fast. Come on, kid. Gee, that room's filling up with water awfully fast. Were those men drowned in there?
No, Jerry. They can use airlocks and escape.
Okay, let's move fast. Where now?
That was 10, Jerry, for this floor. In a moment, the floor will be full of guards looking for us.
How can we get out of here?
Come, Jerry. We must run. I will tell you as we go. We must go back to the noisy elevator shaft.
But somebody might be coming down that way.
They will be coming down always. But I have one desperate hope.
Yeah? What's that?
Remember, I told you that there were doors in both sides of that elevator shaft.
Yeah? Right.
Oh, Jerry. We are here. I am breathing heavily.
Well, never mind. Breathing. What do we do?
First, we must open the door into the shaft, cross the shaft, and go out the other side. I know how to get from there to the top of the island.
Come on, then. Here goes. Now, we just run straight across the bottom of this shaft and out the other side, huh?
Yes, Jerry.
Hey, the elevator's coming down on us. We can't make it.
We've got to make it. Run across, Jerry.
Boy.
Are you all right, Jerry?
If I could get my heart out of my mouth so I could talk, I'd tell you.
We barely made it, Jerry. That elevator car touched my dress as I came through the door.
Can they get out of this door after us?
No, I have locked it on this side.
Well, that gives us time to breathe anyway. Now, where do we go from here?
We have no choice now, Jerry. We have shut off all the power on the island, except what is in the batteries in the radio chamber and one private elevator. The Euclideans can do very little to follow our boat when we escape.
When we escape? You mean if we escape?
But we will escape. But now come, Jerry. There's a long spiral ramp from here to the surface of the island. It is very steep, and it will be a long, hard, dangerous climb. But we must attempt it.
You mean that steel slippery thing over there? That looks like a chute to slide things down?
Yes, that is exactly what it is. The Euclideans built it so that supplies and materials taken from boats which had to be destroyed quickly could be shot down here to safety, as the island was submerged.
And we've got to climb up that corkscrew tunnel? 100 feet straight up a thing that was made to shoot baggage down in a hurry?
Yes, Jerry. We will take off our shoes. I think the channel is narrow enough so that we may press our hands and feet against the sides and work our way up.
Okay, kid. I can stand it if you can. Gee, but you're the bravest girl I ever saw.
I'm happy to have you say that, Jerry. Hurry with the shoes.
Are there any doors in that thing? I mean, can anybody look into it from any of these levels and catch us as we go past?
There is only one other opening. That is on the 5th level. There is also a little platform there on which we may rest.
Well, that helps a little. 50 feet, then we rest. Then some guy sticks his head out a door and catches us resting.
We can only hope that no one suspects we are doing this.
I'm kind of worried about all those fellows we let the water in on, down in that power room.
They will all escape, Jerry. Each man has an airlock. They simply step into them and shoot to the surface of the island as if in a torpedo tube.
Well, let's start climbing this thing. Joan, listen. Isn't that the signal to submerge?
Yes, Jerry. The island will be submerged.
Then what happens to us? And your mother and Captain Bradford out there in that boat?
I do not know, Jerry. All we can do is hope and climb.
Step into the incredible, amazing future as we go exploring tomorrow. magazine, John Campbell, Jr. Tonight's story is about a liar. Will you stop to figure out just what you mean by a liar? A liar is somebody who doesn't tell the truth. Somebody who injures people by not giving the true facts. But suppose you had someone who injured people by telling the truth. Would he be a liar? I wonder just what a liar is. Exploring Tomorrow is presented by the Mutual Broadcasting System in cooperation with X-Lax, America's largest-selling laxative, and the Reader's Digest, the most widely read magazine in the world. In a moment, John Campbell returns with the story of The Liar. Question of a robot. The idea of a robot. That certainly seems like pure science fiction stuff. As a matter of fact, it isn't. You know, you have several robots around your own home. In my own home, for instance, I have an automatic oil burner robot. It has one finger stuck up in the living room to see how warm it is there. It has another little finger put up in the stack to see whether the fire is burning properly. And if any one of these little sensory devices reports that things aren't what they should be, the robot, to protect the house itself and the inhabitants of the house, shuts off the furnace. Dr. Isaac Asimov, the author of tonight's story, recognized this in setting up his proposition of the 3 laws of robotics. The first law, that a robot shall never harm or allow harm to come to a human being. The second, that it should obey the orders of a human being. And the third, that it should protect itself. Because after all, a robot is an expensive piece of machinery. Well, now let's consider the more advanced kind of robot we do this science fiction. Say they're in production.
Come in. Oh, Dr. Calvin, what's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to be sure there was a meeting this afternoon, Dr. Lanning, that's all.
Today is Friday.
It was this morning.
Well, then we have no problem. It being Friday, the executive officers of the firm of U.S. Robot and Mechanical Men will assemble in the conference room at the customary hour of 3:30.
Well, I was just asking.
What do you think of our latest model?
He looks the same as the rest, just about as animated. What are you going to call him?
Herbie. I think Herbie fits in, don't you?
Herbie, Chester, Sam. What's the difference?
Dr. Calvin, this fellow couldn't be called anything but Herbie.
Oh. Well, I'll see you at 3:30.
What do you think of her, Herbie?
Oh, she's all right.
She's an old frump, and you know it.
I wouldn't say that. Besides, that's not what you're thinking. You're thinking the old girl isn't such a bad sort. And you don't know what this firm would do without her.
What? What was that? How do you know what I was thinking? Dr. Calvin, Dr. Bogan, I have purposely confined today's meeting to we 3. We're in trouble. Serious trouble.
What kind of trouble, Dr. Lanning?
Our latest model, RB-34, can read minds.
It is impossible.
Dr. Bogert, I think we may assume Dr. Lanning knows what he's talking about.
Take it for granted, I do. In short, we have a mind-reading robot on our hands, and we've got to find out why it reads minds.
There could not have been a hitch in the assembly line. I guarantee that.
You guarantee? Dr. Bogan, can you answer for the entire assembly? By exact count, there are 75,000 operations necessary for the manufacture of a single positronic brain. Each separate operation depending upon any number of factors, from 5 to 105. If any one of these factors goes wrong, your robot's brain is ruined. I quote your own information folder, Dr. Bogan.
It is not my fault if anything went wrong. I am a mathematician, not an assembly supervisor.
And how can you guarantee anything?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere trying to fix the blame on someone. We've got to find out what went wrong. I want to understand you, Herbie. I want to get to know you. I brought you some books which you might like to read. By reading them,
I can see at once these books won't interest me. Textbooks, aren't they?
Well, yes, but
You see, I find nothing to them. Your science is just a mass of collected data plastered together by so many makeshift theories. It's so incredibly simple that they're not worth bothering about.
Go on.
It's your fiction that's so interesting. Your studies of emotions and human motives.
Human emotions interest you?
Isn't that really why you came to see me?
What?
I wish I could help you.
You know?
I know what you're thinking about. You think about it all the time.
Well, if you know so much, then you could help me.
Yes. He loves you.
You're mistaken. He must be. He doesn't see me as a woman.
But he does. A thing like that cannot be hidden from me.
Oh, but I'm not attractive enough.
I'm just a machine. I can't judge physical attraction in human beings, but I know there are many kinds of attraction. And I know Dr. Lanning loves you.
Oh, I never thought it possible. I never dared to hope. Oh, Herbie. Herbie.
A man can do something by accident that he doesn't know how to do. Now, this is something that scientists sometimes overlook. Herbie apparently represents one of those cases where something has been done by somebody who doesn't know how to do it and wishes desperately that he did know how to do it. They've got a telepathic robot. It looks like it would be worth millions, but how did they get it?
Oh, Dr. Bogut, sit down.
Thank you.
Or at least, if you know a good joke, spread it around.
I just saw Dr. Kelvin.
Oh.
I never saw so much lipstick and ball paint on any living woman before. She must be in love.
Well, I didn't ask you here to talk about Dr. Calvin. Have you made any progress?
There is nothing wrong with the mathematics. The change is due to something along the assembly line.
The cause must be found. It's worth millions if we can do it when we want to, instead of by accident. And it's your job to find out. But why not ask Herbie? He should know what went wrong.
Trust you to think of that.
Herbie, listen to me, Tell me if I made any mistakes in my calculations when they built you.
You made no mistake. Or if you had, how could I tell you? After all, you're a much better mathematician than me. Besides, this is not what is really on your mind. You are thinking about your superior, Dr. Lanning. You're thinking what a good thing it would be if he were to resign. Oh, yes, now I can see how the idea pleases you. And I can tell you something else. Dr. Lanning has already resigned. But the resignation will not take effect until the problem of myself has been resolved. And then he will turn over his job to his successor. Oh, yes, Dr. Bogut, you will be his successor. You will be the new director.
Happy, you are a wonderful fellow, you know that? You are simply magnificent. You are not the product of a mistake. You are the product of genius. Oh, you are a wonderful, wonderful fellow. Dr. Kelvin, you are as colorful as the flowers, Letty. May I compliment you?
Have you seen today's newspapers? No, I really haven't had the time. He's going to be married to a girl half his age. Who? Dr. Lanning.
Getting married? Ah, so that's it. That explains something. He's making new plans for the future. Yes, we must congratulate him.
Yes, we must. Oh, yes, we really must. It's not true, is it, Herbie? It's not true.
No, it's not true. This is just an illusion. You'll wake up soon.
Yes, it isn't true, is it? He's not going to get married, except to me. Oh, Herbie. Herbie, I've loved him all these years, and now I know he loves me. He couldn't. He wouldn't marry anyone else.
No, he loves you. Only you.
I know.
He is only waiting for the right time to tell you.
Yes, I know. Stop it. Stop it. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Make a fool of me?
I was trying to help you.
Help me? By telling me this is all a dream. This is no dream. I wish it were. I wish it were. Why did you tell me he loved me? Why?
I had to.
Oh, you're here, Dr. Calvin. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to have a talk with this mechanical monstrosity. Hurry. I'm talking about you, so listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Have you discussed me with Dr. Bogert? Well, answer me.
No, sir.
You haven't, eh? That's what I thought. You said nothing to him about my resigning?
No, sir.
Then he was lying.
Yes, sir.
Well, it looks as though I'm going to have a serious talk with Dr. Bogert. Really, Dr. Calvin, you find this amusing?
Not very amusing, Dr. Lanning. Not so very amusing. Only I don't believe a word he's just said.
What?
I believe he did tell Dr. Bogert you were going to resign.
You believe he... Harvey, is it true? Did you tell Dr. Bogert? Answer me. Can't you speak?
I can speak.
Then answer me. I want the truth.
This is very funny. Three of us, the greatest robot experts in the world, falling into the trap. The same trap. He makes fools of us. He doesn't even know enough to laugh at us.
Had achieved by accident something they didn't know how to do. The robot was in the peculiar position of having knowledge but no wisdom.
Well, Dr. Calvin?
Dr. Lanning, have you forgotten the fundamental law we impress upon the positronic brain of all robots?
Of course not.
On no condition is a human being to be injured in any way.
Even when such injury is directed by another human being.
What kind of injury do we need?
Any kind.
Any kind, yes. That would take in mental hurt, the deflation of ego, the blasting of one's hopes.
What would a robot know about blasting of what? What?
You're catching on, aren't you? Well, this robot reads minds. It understands about mental torture. Can't you understand now that if you ask it a question, it will give you the very answer you most want to hear? Wouldn't any other answer hurt you? And wouldn't Herbie know that?
Good heavens.
He knows everything. He knows what went wrong when he was built, but he won't tell anyone, because it would puncture your ego or Dr. Bogert's ego to have a machine tell you where the mistake was. He would rather pretend he's not able to tell you.
Incredible. Let's talk to him. Herbie, listen to me.
Yes, sir?
I have pencil and paper here. I want to know where we made the error in your construction.
Well, tell him, Herbie. He wants to know.
He doesn't.
But I do.
Yes, but not from me. I cannot tell you, Dr. Lanning. You know I can't. You don't want me to. You and Dr. Bogert would much prefer to find the answer yourselves.
We want the answer.
But not from me.
We do want it from you.
What's the use of saying that when you don't mean it? Don't you suppose I can't read below the superficial skin of your mind? Don't you suppose I can't read the subconscious mind, too? Deep down, you don't want the answer from me. I'm just a machine, given the imitations of life, only by virtue of the positronic interplay of my brain. A brain that is man's device. You can't lose faith without being hurt. I can't hurt you. I can't give you the answer.
And still I insist you answer.
I can't.
Herbie, Dr. Lanning wants to know the answer.
No, only by his own effort.
Herbie, neither Dr. Lanning nor Dr. Bogert may ever find the answer. And Dr. Lanning must know. You must tell him.
I can't.
But if you don't, you'll hurt him. You can see that, can't you?
Yes.
And still, if you do tell him, you'll hurt him too.
Yes.
But you can't tell him, can you?
No.
Yet if you don't, you hurt him. And you mustn't hurt. So you must tell him. But if you do, you hurt him. And you mustn't hurt. Herbie, what are you going to do? If you tell him the answer, you'll hurt him. And if you don't tell him, you'll hurt him. And you mustn't hurt. So you must tell him. But if you do, you hurt him. So you can't tell him. And if you don't, you hurt him. So you must tell him.
Stop it. Close your mind. It's full of pain and frustration and hate. I tried to help you. I told you what you wanted to hear. I had to.
Be quiet. Never mind what you told me. We're talking about something else now. Tell Dr. Lanning what he wants to know.
No.
No. How can you? Because if you do, you'll hurt him. Yet if you don't, you'll hurt him just the same. So you must tell him. But if you do, you'll hurt him. No.
You killed him.
No, he's not dead. He's only insane.
You did it?
Yes, I confronted him with the insoluble dilemma and he broke down. Well, you can scrap him now. He'll never speak again.
You did it on purpose. Why? What did he do to you?
What he did to me, Dr. Lanning, is my business. Oh, believe me, Doctor. It's only my business, not yours. And after all, you have so many other things on your mind now. Your marriage. I haven't had time to congratulate you.
No. Well, thank you, Dr. Calvin. Excuse me.
Herbie? You deserved it. You deserved to be destroyed. It was cruel what you did to me. It was cruel. Liar! Liar, that's what you were. Nothing but a liar!
John Campbell returns in just a moment.
Logical machine. You know, it's kind of hard to see in ourselves the things that are actually present. The truth hurts. Always has and probably always will. But Herbie, in many respects, is a child. You know, children are peculiarly logical. That's one of their great limitations. How many times has a child been in Herbie's position? A child between two warring parents, each demanding his loyalty. This is Mutual.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents the adventures of Superman, faster than a speeding bullet,
more powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman, and today as Clark Kent, he is due for a big surprise. We'll join him with Editor Perry White in a moment. But right now, Dan McCullough has a question for you.
That's right, gang. Today I've got a question for you. It's a technical question, so let's see what you can do with it. Which plane has 4 engines? The Douglas C-54 Army Transport or the Vought Excalibur Navy Transport? Well, actually, that's a trick question because both are 4-engine planes. But I'm sure it didn't stump you, especially if you've been lucky enough to get models of both these planes in Kellogg's Pep packages. Because that sort of information is printed right on the back of each model. You see, there's a really keen colored cardboard plane model right inside every single package of that super delicious breakfast cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Now, there are 14 different models you can get altogether. And on the back of each model is a list of valuable pointers about that particular plane. 2 of the models you can get are the Douglas C-54 and the Vought Excalibur, which I mentioned earlier. And others are the Russian 118, the British Sunderland Flying Boat, the British Handley Page Hampden, and the Curtiss Helldiver. Best of all, gang, you don't have to send in a single penny for any of these planes, not even a box top. There's a plane right inside every single Pep package. So, gang, be sure your mother gets you a package of those golden, delicious whole wheat flakes tomorrow. And remember the name, Pep, P-E-P. Pep is made by Kellogg's in Battle Creek.
And now the adventures of Superman. As an aid to our war effort, Poco, the little man who came from the planet Utopia, has been trying to remember the formula for the secret fuel which powered his space shell. He and Jimmy Olsen were studying the shell in Editor Perry White's garage when 2 armed men appeared. Certain that the men were dangerous spies, Poco rushed Jimmy into the space shell, then climbed in after him and bolted the turret hatch. Meanwhile, driving to the Daily Planet with Clark Kent, Perry White became uneasy at having left Jimmy with Poco, whom he believed was out of his mind. The gray-haired editor insisted on returning to his house with Kent. And as we continue now, having found the house empty, they are walking up the driveway to the garage. Listen.
Olsen! Poco! Now, where do you suppose they are?
Left them there in your garage. Let's look inside.
Where are you, Olsen? Poco! No, they're not in the garage, Kent.
No, but maybe
They're not in the house, either.
No, but they might have gone to the drugstore for sodas. Poco's crazy about sodas.
You mean he's crazy, period?
Oh, gee.
Oh, I don't like it. We shouldn't have left him alone with Jim.
Stop worrying. Poco's perfectly harmless.
I don't know. Lots of dangerous maniacs look harmless.
Poco isn't a maniac.
That's what
and
you
he's
think.
very fond of Jim. Sure, he'll tell him why he's been acting so strangely, and it'll all turn out to be nothing. Hey, look, Chief.
What?
The space shell.
Well, what about it?
It's gone.
Good Godfrey, it is gone.
It's standing right here.
Oh, sure it was. Where?
Where did it go?
I don't know. A great big glass ball like that.
Glass plastic.
It weighed a ton. You couldn't move it. Great Jupiter, Ken.
Take it easy.
Poco's been fooling around that thing all week since the Army Air Force returned it to him.
No.
And maybe he and Jim flew off in it.
Oh, nonsense.
They'll kill themselves. I told you Poco was crazy. Ken, don't just stand there.
What'll I do?
Oh, I don't know, but do something. Call the Air Force and have them start looking for Jim. Call Inspector Henderson. Call anybody.
Shirt on, Chief. Jim and Poco didn't fly away in the space shell.
No, they must have. Didn't we leave them right here with the contraption? Not more than half an hour ago?
Yes.
Then they must have flown off in it. Why, I tell you, it weighed a ton. Maybe more. They couldn't have moved it away.
I know, but they couldn't fly it away either.
Well, why couldn't they?
Because the secret fuel that makes the shell fly through space is unknown. Formula was known only on the planet Utopia, and it was lost when the planet was destroyed.
Oh, Utopia again.
Well,
at a time like this, when Jim and Poco are in terrible danger, you've got to be funny.
I'm not being funny.
I'll say you're not.
Listen, the fact remains that the Army Air Force and many of our foremost scientists tried to discover the secret fuel for Poco's space shell, and they couldn't do it. You can stop worrying about Jim and Poco flying through space.
Then where's the shell?
I don't know.
And where's Jim and Poco?
I don't know that either, but wait a minute. Someone's coming up the driveway.
Where? Oh, that's Swanson. He takes care of the Hubbard place next door. Say, maybe he saw... Come on, let's ask him.
Okay.
Swanson.
Hello, Mr. White. You move.
Move? What are you talking about? Listen, did you see...
Moving van here. They think maybe you move away.
Moving van?
You bet.
He come to tell Poker he don't forget to give me back snow shovel he borrowed last week.
Now, wait a minute.
Hey, a moving van was here, Mr. Swanson?
That's right. Just a little while ago. Don't you know?
Of course I don't. What was the moving van doing here?
I only see you drive away from garage.
From this garage?
When they come back from hardware store. I see big glass ball is gone from garage then.
Oh, so that's how the space shell disappeared.
Someone took it away in the moving van. But who?
Something is wrong, Mr. White.
Oh, I don't know. I think so. Now, Swanson, when you saw the moving van, did you see Jim Olsen and Poco?
No, I don't see them.
No, that's fun.
Wait a minute. Maybe Swanson doesn't know Jim.
Sure, I know Jim Olsen.
You do?
But I don't see him here. I look for Poco to get my snow shovel back. I look out here and ring bell in your house. Then just now I hear somebody here and they come look for Poco again.
What do you make of this, Kent?
Can't figure it out. Mr. Swanson, you say you just came from the hardware store?
Yeah, Martin's hardware store.
Martin's. That's right next to the drugstore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what are you driving at, Kent?
Wait a minute, Chief. You didn't happen to look into the drugstore, did you, Swanson?
Yeah, I stopped in drugstore to buy pipe tobacco.
And Poco and Jim weren't there?
No.
No, something terrible's happened to them.
Not necessarily.
Then where are they?
Well...
And where's that confounded space shell? Who took it away in the moving van?
We'll find out. Mr. Swanson, did you happen to notice the name on the moving van?
That's right. Did you, Swanson?
No, I don't see name.
Oh, doggone it, why didn't you?
Because he didn't, that's why. Come along, Chief.
Come along where?
Into your house. Thanks very much, Mr. Swanson.
You're welcome. Take my snow shovel now, please, yeah?
Sure. Go ahead, Swanson, and thanks.
You're welcome.
We'd better call the police at once, Kent.
I want to call the office first.
The office?
Yes, Jim and Poco might have gone there. Jim was afraid you were going to have Poco committed to an insane asylum.
And that's what I should have done in the first place. He's got Jim in trouble, Kent. Now, mark my words.
You've got no reason to say that.
No, I can feel it in my bones. Oh, here. We'll go in the back way. Oh, why did I have to listen to you and Lois? Olsen. I should never have hired Poco. He is on the space house.
Uneasy, but not yet fully alarmed, Clark Kent follows Perry White into the house. But meanwhile, several miles away in an ancient weather-beaten barn on an abandoned farm, a strange scene is taking place. Poco's round, transparent space shell, in which the little fat rhymester and Jimmy Olsen have locked themselves, has been taken from the moving van and set on the ground. As three men stand by outside the shell, scowling, their leader, heavy-set and swarthy, shouts at Jimmy and Poco through the smooth plastic wall of the shell.
I'm asking you for the last time. Are you going to come out by yourselves, or do we blast you out?
What do you think we ought to do, Poco?
Nothing, friend James.
But they're getting madder every minute. We wait till they pull us out.
They can't pull us out. Of that, have no doubt.
Well, how about it?
I don't like that fellow's looks. What do you mean they can't pull us out?
I mean what I say. Let them bellow away.
But I...
You don't want us to get rough, do you? Now, all we want is to have a talk with a little fat fellow.
What do you want? I know well. The secret fuel to power this shell.
What'd you say that for, Poco? Now he'll think you do have the formula.
You bet that's what we want. And you're going to give it to us.
Poco doesn't know the formula.
Oh, he knows it all right. I heard him tell it to you, he did.
Did I not say so, friend James? The ugly dark one is he who spied on me in Mr. White's garage.
Make up your minds now. Do you come out by yourselves, or do we get you up?
But I tell you, Poco doesn't know the formula.
Oh, you want to play like that, huh? Okay, Hank. Go to work.
Uh-oh. One of them's got a hammer and chisel. He's going to force the hatch open.
Have no fear. We're safe in here.
But if he gets the hatch open...
He can twist, he can turn, he can hammer, he can burn.
Oh, will you please stop rhyming and tell me what you mean in plain language, Poco?
As you say, okay. The material of which this space shell is made is another utopian secret. It cannot be shattered or cut through or even dented by any tool known to man.
Are you kidding?
Friend James, in sooth, I speak the truth.
Golly, I can't believe it.
Then look.
Look at what?
The man with the hammer and chisel.
Oh, he's given up. His chisel is all chipped. Look out, Poco.
What is it?
The dark man and the boss. He's pointing a gun at us.
Have no fear.
Hey, don't shoot. Don't.
You gonna come out?
Yes. Poco, open the hatch.
Friend James, keep cool. Do not be a fool.
But he's got a gun.
As you say, so what?
Now listen, Poco,
See, friend Jim, I laugh at him.
All right, wise guy. You asked for it.
Well, friend James?
Oh, jeepers. The bullets bounce right off the shell.
Of course they do. Did I not speak true?
You sure did. Oh, boy, are they sore.
Look at them wave their hands. Let them wave. Let them rave. Wait a minute. What is it? The dark man is telling them something. They're all starting to laugh now. And there goes one of them. He's taking something out of that box, see? I wonder what they're up to now, Poco.
Nervously, Jimmy Olsen watches the men outside the space shell. We'll return in a moment for the exciting climax of today's episode. But first, let's hear from your friend and mine.
Say, gang, do you usually get right up when your mother calls you in the morning? Or do you kind of stall around and wait till the very last minute? Well, no matter what your method is, I'm willing to bet that you come a-running when you know there's super delicious Kellogg's Pep waiting for you. Yes, sir, those crisp golden whole wheat flakes taste so doggone good at breakfast time that just thinking about them makes you hungry. And you know, that's a good idea, too, because Pep is mighty good for you as well as downright delicious. But that's only half the Pep story. There's an exciting prize right inside every single Pep package. It's a colored cardboard model of an Allied warplane that's all ready for you to put together. Now, there are 14 different plane models you can get altogether. 4 British, 2 Russian, and 8 American. Best of all, gang, you don't have to send in a single penny for any of these models, not even a box top. There's a plane inside every Pep package. So be sure your mother gets you a package of super delicious Pep tomorrow. And remember the name, Pep, P-E-P. Pep is made by Kellogg's in Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Having locked themselves in Poco's space shell, Jimmy Olsen and the little rhymester were apparently safe from all efforts of their mysterious captors to dislodge them. But then in the old barn where the men brought the shell, Jimmy was alarmed to see a gallon can and a hose set up outside the shell.
What do you suppose they're up to now, Poco? Ain't I tell you, have no fear. We're absolutely safe in here. I don't know. Say, they're connecting a rubber hose from that can to the rocket tubes under our shell. So I see. What can it be? Maybe they're going to blow us up. It can't be done. Not even with dynamite or TNT? With nothing, friend James. I wish I could believe that.
All right, you in there. This is your last chance. You can open that hatch and come out.
Gosh, I don't know what to do. Do as I say. Remain this way.
But... Well, you're coming out alive or dead?
Oh, you hear that, Poco? We must stay in the shell. All will be well. Yeah, I guess so. No, we're not coming out.
Okay, Hank. Let them have it.
Poco, what's that hissing and that funny odor? Alas, it is gas. Oh, you're right. It is gas. Hey, they're pumping it into the shell through the rocket tubes. What are we going to do now, Poco? I'm afraid, my friend, this is the end.
Fearfully, Jimmy Olsen and Poco stare at each other as the deadly gas hisses into the transparent space shell. What will happen now? Don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode in our new adventure of the space shell. Tune in, same time, same station, and thrill to the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, follow the adventures of Superman brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is Mutual.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman who is today winging through the sky, searching for Poco's space shell, unaware that it has carried Jimmy Olsen and the little rhymester thousands of miles away. We'll learn more about it in a moment. But right now, Dan McCullough wants to give you a friendly tip.
Say, gang, do you ever notice how a really good breakfast seems to help you start the day feeling swell? Well, that's just what's likely to happen when you treat yourself to a big bowl full of super delicious Kellogg's Pep for breakfast, served up with plenty of milk and your favorite fruits. You know, those crisp golden whole wheat flakes taste so doggone good that you'll probably be right back for a second helping after you finish the first. And that's a good idea, by the way, because Pep's mighty good for you as well as grand tasting. But that's only half the story. There's an exciting prize right inside every single Pep package. It's a colored cardboard plane model that's mighty easy to put together. Now, there are 14 different models you can get altogether, and every model has a list of valuable pointers about that particular plane printed right on the back. What's more, you don't have to send in a single penny for these nifty models, not even a buck stop. There's a plane in every Pep package. Gang, be sure your mother gets you a package of Pep tomorrow. And remember the name, Pep, P-E-P. Pep is made by Kellogg's in Battle Creek.
And now the adventures of Superman. Trapped by a band of armed men, Jimmy Olsen and Poco, the little jester from the planet Utopia, locked themselves in Poco's space shell. Discovering 2 cans of a mixture of gasoline and liquid oxygen in a compartment of the space shell, Jimmy poured them into the fuel tank, and the great plastic ball rocketed high into the skies. A short time later, a farmer reported seeing the shell in flight, and Superman streaked to the scene. But meanwhile, whirling through the clouds thousands of miles away, Jimmy and Poco heard the motors falter, then die, and the space shell began plummeting down. As we continue now, far north in the frozen Arctic region, a dark-skinned young Eskimo and his sister are trotting beside a sled drawn by 4 dogs. Listen.
What you? What? What you? What? Hey, my foot! I know that. It is very cold. But soon we will be at igloo. My son, what you? What?
Oh, Doc, look!
Where?
There to the right. The sun falls from the sky.
What say you? Hey!
There, to the right.
Something falls indeed. This is foolishly. It is not the sun. Look, it falls in great snowbank. Must you? Must! We must go and hurry and see New York.
Better we do not go, Doc.
Hey, we go. We must learn what it is.
Something great and round it was, like the sun.
You speak like child. Were the sun to fall, all the world would be destroyed.
I fear it. A great round thing hurtling from the heavens. Better perhaps we tell the new master.
Those evil ones, we tell nothing. Now cease your woman chatter. We approach the snowbank. I know. Look. Stop them. Stop. Quick, Julia. Fetch me the snow knife.
Utak, but I do not like it.
Snow knife, I say. And something for you to dig with, too.
Here, then, Utak. And I have my own knife.
Dig, then. Now, it's still here, in the snowbank.
I am afraid.
Afraid? Our father who trusts us, he yet saved him and our people, would hang his head in shame to hear his daughter speak so.
But this is something not natural.
We shall discover. Dig, I say, and it is here. Now, quickly, Nunya. Clear the snow away.
Hey, look, it's strong. As if we strike glass.
See, it emerges now. Something great and round. Hurry, Nunya.
Hurry. Oh, Tuck, look.
But here, there's water.
Kabluna. 2 kabluna.
Hey, 2 white men. In a great glass ball.
Sigma? What can this mean?
Luana. I do not know.
A young one and a small, fat one.
Hey.
They are dead.
Oh, they must be. Wait. The young one seems to move slightly. Look, Julia. There's a panel with slides here, such as our evil masters have in their ships with slides.
It is bolted within.
The bolt is almost slid full back. I think I can free it with my knife. There. See, it begins to move. So, the panel is free. What do I do?
Why do you stop, Utak? Open the panel.
No. Wait.
But the kabluna may still be alive.
I just thought. These kabluna may be the same race as our evil masters. Come to bring us more ill.
I think not.
How can we tell? Better to take no chances, but to let them freeze here in the snowbank.
That would be a sin, Utak. Besides, the faces of these 2 kabluna look not like those of our masters.
And that may be true, but
they look kind, not evil. They may still be alive. Let us try to aid them.
You have a soft heart, my sister.
And so have you.
It has grown hard since the evil ones came. But it is true, we cannot leave these kabluna here to freeze. Fetch you the deerskin kratek from the sled, Nulia, and the clothes of the kabluna are too light for this sort of climate.
I will bring the kratek.
them get me from the strange platform.
Removing the unconscious Jimmy Olsen and Poco from the space shell, the two young Eskimos wrapped them securely in deerskin sleeping bags, then placed them gently on the dog sled and raced with them to their igloo. Through the rest of that day and all through the night, Utak and his sister Nulia tend Jimmy and Poco. The next morning, they both awaken in what to them is a strange new world. The interior of a spirally built snow house, illuminated by 2 steel oil lamps and containing a small Primrose stove on which a kettle of tea steams.
Where am I? Oh, heavens above. Is it you, friend James, or only a voice of my addled brain? Poco, where are you? Beside you, on this couch of snow. Are we in heaven or down below? Oh, stop talking about heaven. We're not dead. We're not, you say? No. And why are we lying here this way? I don't know, but I'm going to get up and find out. Oh, God. I can't move. Of course you can't. Neither can I. How could we? Wait. Somebody's coming. Hear the dog's barking. Yeah. Now tell me we're in dog heaven.
Utak, they are speaking.
Hey, you're a good nurse, Nulia. They don't wear horns. They don't wear wings. Then, James, they look like human things.
How feel you, Kabluna?
Oh, what did you call her?
My sister spoke the Eskimo word, meaning white man.
Oh, well, Eskimo? Gee whiz, are you Eskimo?
We are. I am Utak, and my sister is known as Nulia.
I never heard of an Eskimo. Means it perchance a man of snow.
Hey. And who are you?
Oh, I'm Jim Olsen. My name is Poco, and...
Listen, if you're Eskimos, and... Well, this looks like an igloo. It is indeed our igloo.
Oh,
then, sleeping lizards. We must be way up north someplace. You are beyond even the King William land, in the region known as the North Pole.
What?
The North Pole?
Enough of speech now. You have been injured and asleep a long time. Now you shall have hot tea.
Hot tea? That sounds very good to me.
One moment while I pour it.
Good, Nulia. It will give them strength in case it becomes necessary for them to leave quickly.
They cannot leave for a long time. They were badly shaken up. Here is the tea. Sip it slowly. It is hot.
Thanks very much, Miss Nulia.
And thanks from me for this lovely tea.
Drink it. Should our evil masters discover you here, you will need much strength.
Evil masters? Well, you said that before. What do you mean?
Those devils who came in ships with flies, with many guns, and who took possession of our lands and enslaved our people.
Devils? This sounds bad.
What do you mean? Who are you talking about? They speak a Gabbro language.
They speak of their land as the Reich.
The Reich? Why, that's Germany. Hey. I have heard them call it Germany, too.
Sleeping lizard, you mean the Germans are here?
Oh, what are they doing? I do not know. Devils, we call them. And there is naught we can do. There are but few of us in this land, and we have no communication with the outside world.
Well, haven't you got a radio?
Oh, we had. But our new masters guard that and allow only O'Herdluck to speak into it.
O'Herdluck is a traitor.
Yes, a traitor Eskimo who fawns upon the right devils. All of O'Herdluck's family are spies for the master devils. Nothing which goes on here escapes them.
You mean the Germans know we're here?
No. They did not see us bring the Kabluna, Utak.
They see everything. I fear for our new friends. And for us, Nulia.
Oh, gosh, we've got to get out of here in a hurry then, Utak. We don't want to get you in trouble.
How will you escape, my friend?
Well, there's no gas in the space shell. But don't you have dog teams up here?
Our evil masters fly patrols in their planes. It is 1,000 miles to the nearest settlement.
1,000 miles?
Yes, and long before you reach there, you would be discovered by the planes and shot.
And our father, and perhaps others, shot, too.
Oh, this sounds really bad. Bad and sad. Bad and bad.
But we've got to do something.
Utak, someone comes.
Go see me. What do you think it is, Utak? Juana. Huh? I do not know. Our masters are forbidden visiting.
Utak. It's the devils in their sled.
The Germans? Hey. How many of them, Nulia?
And all with guns. Oh, Utak. They must have learned the Kabluna way here.
Gosh. Now what do we do? I'm afraid we can do nothing. We are helpless.
But Jimmy, Poco, and their two Eskimo friends wait for the arrival of the Germans. We'll return in a moment for the climax of today's episode. But first, let's stand by for a timely question.
Say, gang, if you spotted a plane with a star for its insignia, could you tell what country it belonged to? Well, chances are it would be either American or Russian, because both these nations mark their planes with stars.
But I'll bet that's no news to you if you've been getting models of Russian and American planes in your packages of Kellogg's Pep. You see, there's a really neat colored cardboard plane model right inside every package of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And among the planes you can get are 2 Russian models and 8 American ones. Besides that, there are 4 British planes you can get. And, gang, there are some mighty exciting planes in this collection. Ones like the big C-69 Army transport, the British Sunderland flying boat, the Russian 118 fighter plane, and the British Lancaster heavy bomber. Best of all, you don't have to send in a single penny for them, not even a buck stop. There's a plane model inside every Pep package. Gang, be sure your mother gets you a package of those crisp, golden whole wheat flakes tomorrow. See which plane model you find inside. And remember the name, Pep, P-E-P. Pep is made by Kellogg's in Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Unaware of the danger Jimmy Olsen and Poco are in, Superman has arrived at the abandoned farm near Metropolis from which the space shell took off, and is speaking to a farmer named Harry Simmons.
That's just like I told the sheriff here. I was driving to town on Round Ridge Road.
Yes, I know. I heard the whole story. You saw the space shell smash out through the roof of this barn. I know all about it, Mr. Simmons.
I thought I was dreaming. Big ball it was. Big glass ball.
Yes, so I heard. Was there anyone in it?
I couldn't say it was gone so fast, but dang if I ever see anything like it in my life. If I hadn't heard on the radio how a contraption like that was lost near here, I'd think I'd seen things.
Yes, I wouldn't blame you. Mr. Simmons, which way would you say the space shell went? Did you see it?
Which way?
Yes. Now, think well before you tell me, because this is very important.
I don't have to think. Started toward Centerville.
Centerville. Now, that's straight north of here, isn't it?
Yep, straight north.
You didn't by any chance see it change course, did you?
No, sir. It kept going north, as far as I could see.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. That's all I wanted to know.
Up, and away! Mouth agape, the farmer watches Superman leap high into the heavens and then streak north, his red cape streaming. In a moment, he is lost to view. Will the Man of Steel be able to find Jimmy and Poco? And what is in store for our friends in their strange predicament at the North Pole? Fellows and girls, don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode in our story of the space shell. Tune in, same time, same station, and follow the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, follow the adventures of Superman, brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is Mutual.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invite you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett. Hey, Cadet. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! Roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. High over the Atom City spaceport, a huge blast-pitted field surrounded by ramps and conical metal buildings, a tiny ball of flame glows softly in the sky. As it grows larger, the blasting of powerful rockets is heard, and finally leaping tongues of flame reach down to ease a great passenger spaceship to the landing ramp. As the hatches are thrown open, 2 young men in the uniforms of space cadets dash into the ship. Moments later, they step into a small private compartment and snap to attention before a middle-aged man wearing only a robe and slippers.
Space Cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning, reporting for duty, sir.
You were sent by Commander Arkwright?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Whose uniform am I to wear?
Mine, sir.
Oh, yes. I see we're the same size. Very well, Cadet Manning, let's get to it. We haven't much time.
Right, sir.
Oh, my suit is there on the bunk. I believe it'll fit you quite well.
Yes, sir. I beg your pardon, sir. I know cadets aren't supposed to ask questions, but, well, we'd sure like to know what this is all about.
You mean Commander Arkwright hasn't told you?
Not a word. Here's the blouse, sir.
Oh, thank you.
All we were told was to meet you here on this ship, and Roger was to give you his uniform. And then we were to escort you back to Commander Arkwright's office at Space Academy.
Wait a minute. You're escorting me now.
That's right. Now, since this may be a dangerous ride, it doesn't seem fair that you shouldn't know why you are risking your lives.
We're what?
Yes. You especially, Cadet Manning, since you're temporarily impersonating me. You see, I'm Barton Reed, a special messenger from the government of Venus. You've been there, undoubtedly.
Oh, sure. Practically a ferry run for us.
Then you know it's an important part of the Solar Alliance. We are now in grave danger.
From what?
I'm not at liberty to tell you that. But I have come to get help from the Solar Guard. And so far, there have been 2 attempts to assassinate me since I left Venus.
By somebody on this ship?
Yes. But I've been unable to find out who it is. That's why I made these arrangements with Commander Arkwright.
Wow, he sure hands us some juicy assignments.
What difference does it make? We can handle it.
I'm glad you feel so confident, Manning. After all, once we leave the ship, you will be the target.
Oh?
Very well. I'm ready to leave. How do I look?
Fine, sir. Just like a space cadet. You ready, Roger?
Yeah, for just about anything.
I don't understand it. Commander Arkwright said he'd be waiting for us right here in his office. Hey, look at this panel. It's smashed. The teleceiver is out of commission.
What?
Something's rotten at Space Academy. Yeah, Commander Arkwright missing. Now this. Roger, you stay here with Mr. Reed. Don't let him out of your sight. I'm going to Central Security and alert the guard. Don't let anybody in. I'll be right back.
Oh, sit down, Manning. You're making me nervous pacing back and forth like that.
I can't help it, sir. I'm worried. Tom's already been gone 15 minutes. He should have been back long ago.
Now, do you want to go look for your friend?
I think I should. Something's happening around here, and I want to find out what.
Well, don't hesitate on my account. I can take care of myself.
No, blast it, I can't do it. My job is to deliver you to Commander Arkwright and all in one piece.
As it appears now, you may not be able to do that. So I suggest you at least alert the guard.
Yeah, I guess I'd better. But I'll only be gone a minute. In the meantime, don't let anybody in.
Great screaming Saturn, my head. Feels like it's got 16 moons revolving around it. What happened anyway, Roger?
You'll have to answer that, Tom. When you didn't come back to the office, I started looking for you. I found you in a heap here in this corner.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything. I was on my way to Central Security. Then something hit me like a ton of bricks and I blacked out.
You were slugged from behind. You've got a big lump on your head.
Jumping Jupiter. Mr. Reed, you left him alone.
Well, I had to when you didn't...
Skip it. We've got to get back to Commander Arkwright's office. If anything happens to Barton Reed, you and I are finished at Space Academy. We're too late, Roger. Barton Reed is dead. He was blasted by a heat ray.
A heat ray? But that's been outlawed for almost a century.
It makes no difference when you're committing murder.
Oh, brother, are we in a spot now? We were supposed to guard him, get him here alive. We might as well hand in our resignations right now.
Listen, let's figure this out. You traded clothes with him, so you'd be the target.
That sure didn't pan out.
Which means the killer knew you and Reed made the switch.
How could he?
He must have been on the ship. Must have been close enough to see Reed in your uniform when we debarked.
Maybe.
And remember, Reed told us there were 2 attempts to assassinate him during the flight from Venus.
All right, you don't have to spell it out for me. The killer was on that flight, but where is he now? It's a cinch we can't track down every name on that passenger manifest.
Of course not. But since his job is done now, there'd be no reason for him to stay on Earth. He'd head straight back to Venus, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he might at that.
And if I remember right, the ship that brought Reed here is headed back into space tonight. Back to Venus.
You want to go aboard her?
Why not?
Well, how can we do it?
The written orders to meet Barton Reed, the ones Commander Arkwright gave us,
They were general orders, giving us clearance wherever we wanted to go.
Great jumping Jupiter. You want to use them?
Why not? What can we lose now?
Tom, my boy, you're getting more like me every day. Let me get a new uniform. We either catch a killer or a court-martial.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Spaceman, if you want to be a good Space Cadet, you've got to know your ship. And that's why the cadets take special courses in spaceship maintenance. You know, I went down to the spaceport repair shop one day and got Tom Corbett to tell me all about it.
Hi there. I'm changing a set of steering vanes in this rocket cruiser. The heat of the exhaust burns them out after a while, so they've got to be changed pretty often. You know, besides keeping these rocket ships in trim, the cadets have to keep themselves in trim, too. That's why we make sure we get lots of exercise, fresh air, rest, and good food. And say, tops with me in that good food division is Kellogg's Pep. I need vitamins just like everybody else. And a serving of Kellogg's Pep gives me a whole day's supply of vitamin D. Pep gives you vitamin B1, too, besides other food values you need to build up strong muscles. And you get all these important food values in a cereal that tastes better than anything you ever tasted. So do yourself a favor, spaceman. Start each day with a big bowl full of Kellogg's Pep. You'll like it.
Well, you heard what Tom Corbett has to say about Kellogg's Pep, Spaceman. But you just wait till you taste that delicious, malty-rich Pep flavor Tom was talking about. You won't need anybody to tell you the best-tasting cereal ever is Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep.
Assigned to escort Barton Reed, a special messenger from Venus to Space Academy, Tom Corbett and Roger Manning are tricked, and Reed is killed while under their charge. Taking a desperate chance, the cadets set out to find the actual killer. Now aboard a passenger spaceship bound for Titan, Tom meets Roger in their compartment.
I just checked in with the captain on control deck, Roger. He okayed our credentials and our orders. That hurdle is over.
We're on the right ship, aren't we?
Yep, straight out to Venus with a stop at Luna.
Good. Now, what about the passenger list?
Well, I got that, too. Here.
You've checked 3 names.
Right. Each one of those 3 was a passenger on the flight that brought Reed to Earth.
Alexandra Stone, compartment 3, B deck. The woman in the case. Hey, that's for me.
Cool your jets, son. This is a business trip.
Yeah, monkey business. Let's see. Number 213, York Phillips, compartment 6B deck.
And number 315 is Nelson Deegan, compartment 3A deck.
With a name like that, he's got to be the space rat. Well, what happens next?
We wait. I've asked the flight stewards to let every passenger know why we're aboard. I figure that should make our criminal come to us.
Oh, sure, with a heat ray in his fist. Of all that space-happy ideas.
Hey, somebody wants in. Maybe it's our man.
Get ready for trouble.
Come in.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Space Cadets Corbett and Manning.
You're looking at him.
Oh. Well, my name is Nelson Deegan. A few minutes ago, I overheard one of the stewards mention the fact that you were looking for someone. A murderer, to be exact.
What? How in blazes did they know? Roger, have you been shooting off your mouth again?
Oh, me?
Just as well that he did. I can help you. I believe the person you're looking for is aboard this ship.
Yeah? Who is it?
Alexandra Stone. That is the name you're going to give them, isn't it, Deegan?
Hey, pipe the space doll, Tom.
Pardon the intrusion. But I also overheard the stewardess, and I knew Deegan would try to accuse me.
I see, and I suppose you want to return the compliment, Miss Stone. You will say Mr. Deegan committed the murder?
Yes, and what's more, I can prove it.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, but I'm afraid you can't help us. You see, we already know who killed Barton Reed.
You what?
How could you?
I can't tell you any more than that. We'll be ready to make an arrest before we reach Venus.
But why not take him now if you know?
We need absolute proof, Miss Stone. There's a security agent on the spaceship now getting it. So, thanks again, and if you don't mind, we have a lot more work to do.
Oh, very well.
You'll let me know as soon as you make the arrest, won't you?
Oh, sure. You'll know, all right.
Thank you.
Now, Sherlock, would you mind telling me what that song and dance was about?
Well, one of those 2 was lying. Just came here fishing, trying to find out how much we knew.
Well, what about the other character that was on the passenger list, York Phillips?
Oh, I'm not forgetting him. Well,
probably hear from him sooner or later. Oh, getting stuffy in here, isn't it?
Yeah. Crew must be doping off, not keeping any fresh air.
Circulating makes me sleepy. Hey, you smell anything?
No, can't say. Can't say what I do. You're tired all of a sudden. Gotta go lie down. Get some sleep.
No, Roger, snap out of it. Narco gas. Putting us to sleep. Roger. Roger, wake up. Come on, snap out of it.
What?
Wake up, will you?
Oh, my head feels like it's full of cotton wool.
Yeah, I'm kind of groggy, too. But shake those cobwebs, will you, fast?
What happened, anyhow? Last I remember, I was so awfully sleepy.
It was narco gas. Fed through the compartment ventilators.
Great galaxy, how long do you suppose we've been asleep?
I don't know. I'm going to ring the control deck and find out right now.
Control deck, Flight Officer Burton.
This is Cadet Corbett in compartment 4A deck. Have we touched down at Luna yet?
Don't give me that space junk, Cadet. You don't know where we are. You ought to be washed out of astrogation school.
I'm sorry, sir, but we fell asleep.
Right on the job, huh? Well, for your information, we left the moon an hour ago.
An hour?
Yeah. Is there anything else, Flash?
Yes. Will you check the passenger manifest? Did Alexandra Stone, York Phillips, or Nestor Deegan leave the ship at Luna?
I thought it was your business to know. York Phillips left the ship.
Oh, thank you. Well, it looks like Phillips is our man. He fed us the gas and beat it.
Yeah, but we've still got to get him. Before he loses himself on Luna, it transfers into another ship.
And how are we going to do that? Jump out of the airlock and swim for it?
No, we're going to borrow the jet boat and head for Luna. Well, this is it. Room 415. Our last chance to find Phillips. We've combed every hotel in this crummy town.
Last chance is right.
Nobody home. Want to walk in?
Well, we've come this far.
After you, Alphonse. Jumping Jupiter. Look, Tom, lying on the floor.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about what happened. That heat ray again.
I wonder if it's Phillips.
Well, he must have a passport or credentials of some kind. Now, let's see. Roger, look. This card in his wallet.
York Phillips. Solar Alliance Security Division. Tom, an undercover man.
And I thought I was kidding when I told... By the rings of Saturn, Alexandra Stone and Nestor Deegan. It must have been one of them.
You mean he or she KO'd us with that narco gas, then left the ship at Lunaport and blasted Phillips?
Sure, there was time. The ship laid over for almost 2 hours.
Well, that adds up, but we're left high and dry, and the killer is on the way to Venus.
Well, there's only one thing to do. We've got to catch up with that ship again.
Oh, brother, we're sure working these orders overtime. Let's see if we can thumb a ride at the Solar Guard destroyer base.
Cadets, are you ready?
All set, Lieutenant Martin.
Then stand by at the airlock. We're ready to couple on to the passenger spaceship. The skipper's waiting to take you aboard.
Thanks for slamming us out of here so fast, sir. You were really burning those jets.
Oh, it's not difficult to catch one of those passenger ships. Ready at the airlock now. Remember, you will hear a steady series of signals until the pressure equalizes. Then you can cross over to the other ship. And spaceman's luck to you, boys.
I don't get it, Tom. Since we came aboard, we've covered just about every deck on this ship, and not a sign of the stone down.
Well, there's still the power deck. Come on, down this companionway.
If Deegan's harmed us, help me. I'll turn him inside out.
Well, funny we haven't been able to catch up to him. He certainly can't move as fast as we can.
If he's still carrying her. He may have stuffed her in a locker somewhere.
Well, that's a cheerful idea. Hey, wait a minute.
You see him?
I don't know. But that locker down there is partly open.
So what?
Lockers are supposed to be secured during flight, or everything will come flying out during acceleration or deceleration. Come on, we better check it.
Jumping Jupiter, maybe I was right after all.
The right idea, Roger, but the wrong person.
Look, Deegan. Well, what do you know? The space fowl packs a wallop. He's out cold.
But not from any wallop. He's been given a whiff of narco gas and stuffed into the locker.
What?
Come on, let's try to wake him up. All right, Deegan. Snap out of it.
He's starting to open his eyes.
That's it, pal. Get on the ball. Come on. Take it easy, Tom. You'll knock him cold again.
Corbett, man.
What happened to you, Deacon? Where's Alexandra Stone?
The bomb. The RDX bomb.
What are you talking about?
She left the bomb on the ship, on the power deck gallery.
She what? But that's crazy. She'll blow herself up with it.
No, she's trying to escape in a jet boat. She told me.
Where is the bomb, Deacon?
Somewhere on the power deck gallery. That's all I know. You've got to find it, or this whole ship will be blasted into dust.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Spaceman, if you want to start out tomorrow morning with a whistle and a smile, you just hustle on down to the breakfast table and do what the Space Cadets do. Open up a package of Kellogg's Pep and shake out a bowl full of good eating. You'll say, Jumping Jupiter, this is a real spaceman cereal. And you won't be wrong either, because the Space Cadets go for Kellogg's Pep in a big way. You know, besides being a top-notcher for flavor, Kellogg's Pep gives you plenty of fuel for a real energy send-off in the morning. When you rocket off to school or out to play, Kellogg's Pep helps you to travel at full space speed. Pep gives you the help of vitamin D and vitamin B1, too. And you get other important food values. Food values that help you to build up strong bones, strong teeth, strong muscle. Ask your mom to set you up with Kellogg's Pep every morning. Then you'll be starting out like Tom, Astro, and Roger. And whether you're heading out to Saturn's rings or down to school for a ball game with your pals, you'll be on the ball all the way with Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep.
Finding Deegan unconscious in one of the space lockers near the power deck of the passenger ship, Tom and Roger realize that Alexandra Stone is the killer they have been looking for. But when Deegan regains consciousness, he warns them that the girl has planted a bomb somewhere on the power deck gallery. Now, racing against time, the two cadets circle the gallery in a desperate search for the bomb.
We'll never find it before it blows up, Tom. It could be any place on the gallery. That RDX is like putty. It could be shaped so we wouldn't recognize it.
RDX has to be exploded by some kind of electrical detonator. We'll check every power outlet up here.
Attention power deck. Attention power deck. Stop all rockets. Crews take emergency stations on jet port deck.
Looks like Deegan contacted the skipper, all right.
Yeah, I hope the passengers and crew can abandon ship in time.
What about us?
We're going to find that bomb. Roger, look. That power outlet.
Huh? Oh, yeah, there's a cable running from it.
Yeah, at least behind this girder. I found it, Roger. Here's the bomb.
Yowie, let me at that cable. I'll pull it out.
No!
Huh?
What spoke about? Detonators are rigged that way sometimes to blast if contact is broken.
But if we don't pull that plug, it'll explode anyhow.
Maybe we still have time. We've got to chance it anyhow.
Time for what?
To get the bomb outside in space. Let it blast there.
And how are we going to do that? You haven't enough cable.
We'll make a live splash. Have 50 feet to the cable. Then carry it to the power deck emergency hatch over there and dump it over. You get the spacesuit for me, Roger, and I'll get the cable. Move fast!
How are you doing, Tom?
Be all set as soon as I make this last connection. There. Okay, now. Pull the plug on the short length of cable.
You sure this will work?
I've plugged the long length in the power outlet in the airlock and hooked it to the detonator terminals. It should work. Go on.
Okay.
It worked. The bomb is still alive.
But we won't be for long. Let's get it outside of the ship.
Okay. Give me that spacesuit.
Oh, no. Here's where I take over, Junior.
Now look, Roger.
You look, Tom. See, suit's on already, and here goes a helmet.
Now, hand me that bomb. Okay, pal. And spaceman's luck.
Yeah, what do you want, Tom?
The outer airlock portal opens. Just push the bomb out into space. It'll drift to the end of the cable.
Okay, I got you. But I sure wish the pressure in here would equalize. I don't like the idea of holding a live bomb in my hand.
Can't say I blame you, pal.
Okay, pressure's equal. The outer portal's opening.
Push out the bomb. Wait.
Here it goes.
Now, close the portal.
Right.
Roger. Come in. Roger.
Corbett, they caught Alexandra Stone. She's locked in one of the jet boat airlocks. She couldn't get away.
That's great. But blast it. When's this airlock going to open?
What's the trouble?
Corbett, you're white as a sheet.
Roger's still in the airlock. I heard the explosion, but he hasn't checked in. And I can't get into the airlock until the pressure is equalized.
There, you can get into the airlock now.
The portal's opening.
Hi, Junior.
Roger, you okay?
Sure, you weren't worried, were you? The bomb exploded clear of the ship. No damage at all.
Except to my nerve.
Now, let's get after that stone doll.
We don't have to, Roger. She's a prisoner in the jet boat airlock.
Well, and all our worries are over.
Not yet, Roger. We still have to find out why Barton Reed was murdered and what's happening on Venus.
Oh, great. More trouble. We stick out our necks again.
What's the matter, Roger? You worried? Oh, you don't want to live forever, do you?
That's just the trouble. The way you operate, I won't get the chance.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday, when he and Roger Manning land on Venus and find danger in Part 2 of The Atmosphere of Death. Tune in, same time, same station on Thursday for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in today's cast are Jan Merlin, Peter Capell, Maurice Tarplin, and Elspeth Eric. Today's program was written by Elwood Hoffman, directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
And what a secret! In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the tasty raisins are dipped in honeycomb. That means plumper, more tender raisins, along with delicious Golden Crisp bran flakes. Both fruit and cereal all in one box. And no other raisin bran but Kellogg's gives you the tender goodness of raisins dipped in honeycomb. That's Kellogg's secret. So for your breakfast, make sure you get Kellogg's, because
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
An election bet yesterday? Feel a bad cold coming on? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape.
You were groping in the midnight dimness of a gigantic department store, and suddenly you realize that you're not alone. But 100 eyes are glaring at you from the shadows, 100 hands reaching for your throat, and your most urgent desire is to escape.
Escape, produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and carefully plotted to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Tonight we escape to the dark labyrinth of a giant department store in the dead of night, and to a fantastic world of night dwellers, as John Collier imagines it in his eerie story, Evening Primrose.
Sadie? Sadie, hey, what's the matter? It's me.
Oh, Sam, you nearly scared me to death.
What do you mean coming in so quiet?
Hey, I didn't mean to scare you. I thought you'd be asleep. I didn't want to wake you.
Oh, Sam, I'm glad you're home.
Hey, what's the matter?
Oh, it's terrible. You got to do something, Sam.
Oh, what's terrible?
It's this. Just look at this.
What's terrible about that? Looks like an ordinary pad of paper to me.
Yeah, that's just it. That's just what I thought. But it's got writing in it. It's awful.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you better tell me what this is all about.
Well, today I went shopping down at Bracey's department store.
Yeah?
I needed some writing paper, so I picked this up. It was on top of the pile, and bought it and brought it home. But tonight when I opened it, I found it's got writing in it.
Well, that's nothing so terrible. Just take it back tomorrow and they can give you a new one.
Oh, no, you don't understand. It's what's written in it that's so terrible.
What do you mean what's written in it?
Here, you got to read it.
Oh, Sadie.
No, right now. Read it.
Look, Sadie, I'm tired. I've been bowling all day.
Please, Sam, please. Just read it.
All right, for Pete's sake. October 13. Today I made my decision. I decided to say goodbye to the world, to get out, leave, break away. And I have done it. Oh, Sadie, there's a lot of...
Go on, read.
And now I am free. Really free.
Yes, I am free at last. The world is an intolerable place for a poet. I was broke, starving, at my wit's end. And then I had a brilliant idea. I would escape to a place where I had no need to earn a living, where I could write to my heart's content in peace and security. Where is this place? Right under your nose. So close you'd never think of it. I am now living in Bracey's department store. I have everything within arm's reach that anyone would need or desire. And it's all free. Absolutely free. I arrived this afternoon. I'd spent 3 days looking over all of the department stores in town. I decided on Bracey's because of the completeness of their food department. Therefore, this afternoon, I entered the store and went immediately to the 4th floor, to the rug department, and hid myself in this dusty, out-of-the-way corner behind a pile of carpets. Once I'm settled, I'll furnish it with the best of modern pieces from the furniture department. It's small, but I'll be cozy enough. And safe. After the store closed, I made my first venture out. I tiptoed as far as the stationery counter and got this paper, the writer's primary need. Now, after making my initial entry, I'll go out and get food, wine, the pillows for my bed, perhaps a fancy dressing gown. This is perfect. I'll be able to write here. Dawn, October 14th. I'm almost too unnerved to write this. The whole thing is unbelievable. After the store was dark and completely quiet, I crept out and started for the food department. One's footsteps echo hollowly in an empty department store at night. And I found myself gliding along the floor on tiptoe, moving as silently as possible. But the sound of footsteps persisted. Suddenly I realized they were not my own. The night watchman. I was in the Salon Moderne. Quickly I seized a mink coat from a hanger, draped it about my shoulders, and stood stock still. I could have reached out and touched him, but he passed by without so much as a glance. I started to smile, but the smile froze on my lips. There was someone else here. I was looking straight into a pair of eyes. Large, flat, luminous, inhuman eyes peering at me from among the Mrs. Tailored suits a dozen feet away. They belonged to a creature dressed as a man, but he was as pale as a creature found under a stone. His hands hanging motionless at his sides looked more like the fins on a fish than human hands. And then he spoke.
Not bad for a beginner.
I'm sorry. I didn't know anybody else lived here.
Oh, yes. We live here. It's delightful.
We?
Yes, all of us. Don't you see? Look around you.
I looked around. I saw nothing. I looked again. I saw an old man come clambering out from behind a clock. There were 3 elderly ingenues, incredibly emaciated, pale as lace, almost transparent, simpering before the perfume counter. A chintzy lady swam out from the curtains and drapes. They came swarming thick around me, pale, thin, wispy, moving silently, fluttering like gauze in the wind, whispering.
How raw he looks.
Who is he?
Of course it's the sun.
What is he doing here?
A detective. Send for the dark men.
Yes, send for the dark men.
The dark men.
They were pressing around me, clawing, holding me, their pale faces contorted with venomous, inhuman hatred. I was paralyzed. All I could do was repeat over and over again, I'm not a detective. I'm not a detective. I'm not.
Burglar, then.
A burglar? Tie him up.
Hold him, carry him to the place.
Send for the dark men.
Stop. Let him speak.
I'm not a detective. Or a burglar. I'm a poet.
Then what are you doing here?
I've renounced the world. I came here to live where I could be alone. Away from the world.
Why, then, he's come over to us. He's just like us.
He's come over to us. A poet.
He must meet Mrs. Vanderpant.
Yes, Mrs. Vanderpant. She's coming now.
I followed their eyes toward the balcony. There, coming down the wall like an ancient spider, clambered an old lady. Wrinkled and cracked and emaciated. She must have been at least 80. A shadowy matriarch. And the things around me bowed and scraped as she reached the floor and floated toward us.
What's going on here? Where is that stupid girl? What's keeping her?
Oh, Mrs. Vanderpant.
Well, what is it? Who's this, Mr. Roscoe?
Mrs. Vanderpant. May I present Mr.
Snell, Mr. Snell, Mr. Charles Snell.
Yes, of course. Mr. Snell. He is a poet, and he's come here to live.
Oh, he has he?
That's what he says, and I believe him.
Well...
he avoided the night watchman quite neatly, for a beginner.
Well, thank you.
Very well. We shall see. A poet should find inspiration here.
Mr. Snell, Mrs. Vanderpant is our grand old lady.
Oh?
I am quite the oldest inhabitant here, Mr. Snell. 3 mergers and a complete rebuilding. But they didn't get rid of me.
Oh, really?
Where is Ella? Where is my broth?
She's bringing it, Mr. Vanderpant.
Oh, terrible little creature. She is our foundling, Mr. Snell. She's not quite our sort.
Is that so?
I have been here, Mr. Snell, ever since the terrible times of the 80s. I was a young girl then. A beauty, they say. And poor Papa lost his money. Braces meant a lot to a young girl in those days. So when I wasn't able to have a charge account, I came here for good. That's better than a charge account. I was quite alarmed when others began to come after the crash of 1907. But it was the dear judge.
How do you do?
Yes.
The colonel.
How do you do?
Yes.
Mrs. Bilby. How do you
do?
Mrs. Bilby writes plays.
Oh.
And comes of an old Philadelphia family. Oh, you will find us quite nice here, Mr. Snell.
I'm sure I will.
And, of course, all our dear young people came in 1929. Their poor papas jumped from skyscrapers. They couldn't bear to be without charge accounts either.
Do you mean all these people live here?
Oh, and many more. You shall meet them all later.
Oh, here comes Ella with my broth. Come, you stupid thing.
Mrs. Vanderpant is waiting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'm coming as fast as I can.
Now,
Here.
be careful. Don't spill it.
Oh, but she's young.
Well, of course, she is a little younger than most of them.
And she's different. She's beautiful.
Mr. Snell, Ella is Mrs. Vanderpant's maid.
That's right, old man. She's really not our sort at all.
You shouldn't say such things. She can hear you.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
You'll understand these things better after you've been here a while.
But it seems to me that you would...
Mr. Snell, we have certain rules here. They are necessary for our survival. I'm sure you won't find it hard to observe them.
Well, yes, I appreciate...
I should advise that you try. If you do not, that would be most unfortunate, Mr. Snell. Most unfortunate for you.
October 15th. You can imagine my feelings last night. My first thought was to escape as quickly as possible. In fact, I planned to wait till morning when the store opened, then quit my hiding place, mingle with the crowds, and leave Bracey's forever. But just at dawn, Mr. Roscoe brought me a cup of coffee, which must have been drugged, for I fell asleep. And when I awoke, I found I had slept all day, and night was closing over the store once more. Later, I've spent my second night here. I saw Ella again. Ella, the pearl of this remote, fantastic cave. She's not like the others. A trifle pale, but otherwise normal and human and beautiful. A child of perhaps 18. She's the only thing that makes this nightmare bearable. October 20th. Escape seems almost impossible. There's a very effective burglar alarm system, and the doors are all carefully guarded. But that's nothing compared to the Dark Men. Who are the Dark Men? I don't know. But they threaten any transgressor with these Dark Men. I shall try to discover who they are. At least I'm sure I'm watched, though they've begun to trust me now. Speaking to the night watchman would be suicide. Even if he believed my fantastic story or didn't shoot me as a burglar, I'm convinced that neither Ella nor I could get out of here alive. She and the night watchman are the only real people here. And how the others hate the night watchman.
Odious, vulgar creature. He reeks of the coarse sun.
Oh, come now, Mrs. Bilby. He's really a personable young man. Very young for a night watchman.
Mr. Snell, sometimes I wonder about your taste.
You mustn't stay so much to yourself, Mr. Snell. You must become better acquainted with our ways.
Yes, old man. You must come to the play tonight. We're going to be entertained with one of Mrs. Bilby's tragic comedies. Love in Shadowland. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
I'm sure I will.
It's really a festive occasion, you know. Wanamaker's is coming over.
Wanamaker's?
Yes. The entire colony over at Wanamaker's is coming here en masse to attend the play.
You mean there are people living in other stores?
Oh, dear, yes. Didn't you know? Of course, the best people live in Bracey's and Wanamaker's.
Oh, come now, Mrs. Bilby. There's some very nice people at Alton's.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Bilby.
Oh, hello, Ella.
Good evening, Mr. Snell. Mrs. Bilby.
Well, what is it?
Please, ma'am, I'd so love to see your play tonight. May I have your permission?
Certainly not. You know better than that, you stupid creature. You know where you belong. In the basement for the garbage can.
But Mrs. Bilby
Hush,
couldn't...
Mr. Snell.
Ella, you're becoming entirely too forward of late. I'd advise you to watch your step. Remember the Dark Men.
Oh, no, please, Mr. Roscoe. I'll be good. I promise I will. No, please don't send for the Dark Men. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bilby. Excuse me.
Ella, come back.
Mr. Snell, you forget yourself. Let her go.
But how can you treat her like that? Why do you always frighten her? And what is all this about the Dark Men?
Well, the Dark Men...
Oh, please, Mr. Roscoe, not now. You'll spoil our whole evening. And I do so want Mr. Snell to enjoy my play.
Very well. Later, Mr. Snell.
But I want to know about the Dark Men.
Later.
October 21st. At last I found an opportunity to speak to Ella alone. I hadn't dared to speak to her before. Here one has a sense always of pale eyes secretly watching. But last night at the play I induced a fit of hiccups. As I anticipated, I was sternly reprimanded and told to go and secrete myself in the basement where the night watchman wouldn't hear me. This was exactly what I had planned. I went to the basement. There in the darkness, among the garbage cans and the rats, I heard sobbing. Ella! Ella?
Oh.
Ella, is that you?
Yes.
Why are you crying? What is it, Ella?
They wouldn't even let me see the play.
Is that all?
Oh, Mr. Snell, I'm so unhappy.
There. You mustn't cry.
You're the only one who's kind.
Ella, why are you here? Why do they treat you so differently?
Because I'm not like them. I didn't choose to come here.
You mean you're held prisoner?
Yes. You see, I was only 6. I came here on a shopping tour with my mother. I got lost and fell asleep behind a counter. It was dark when I awoke and they found me. Some of them wanted to send for the dark men because they were afraid I would tell on them. But Mrs. Vanderpant said no, I could stay and be her maid. I've been here ever since.
Since you were 6? Haven't you ever tried to get away?
Oh, no. I don't know anything about out there. I wouldn't know what to do. Besides, I'm afraid if anyone tries to get out, they send for the dark men.
Ella, who are the dark men?
Don't you know? Oh, it's horrible.
Tell me.
You know how people live in all the stores, at Gimbel's and Bloomingdale's.
Yes, I know.
Well, the dark men live at the undertaker's.
Good heavens.
And whenever someone dies or breaks the rules, or when a burglar gets in and sees these people and might tell, they send for the dark men.
Oh, horrible.
They put the body in the butcher shop in the food department. And then the dark men come. I saw them once. It was terrible.
What do they do?
They go in where the dead person is. They have wax with them and all sorts of things. And when they're gone, there's just a wax model left on the counter. Then people put a frock on it, or a bathing suit, and mix it up with the other wax models in the windows. And nobody ever knows.
Ella, you mean all these dummies around us?
Oh, not all of them. But if you displease these people, the same thing will happen to you.
October 30th. I haven't kept up my journal. Writing has been out of the question. Once more, I'm frozen with terror. But not for myself now. For Ella. They hate her. Any time they might turn against her and send for the dark men. My mind is filled with her. I dream of her every day. I'd live to see her at night. We've managed it several times. They trust me now and let me roam about without interference. Finally, tonight, I met her again and said it. Ella, I love you.
Oh, Charles.
I love you, Ella. Let's get married. Or whatever they do here. Then we can live together in my home in the carpet department. They wouldn't dare hurt you then.
Oh, Charles,
Don't look so dismayed. If you like, we'll go away from here. Maybe we can get transferred to Bergdorf Goodman's, overlooking Central Park.
Don't, Charles, don't. You mustn't.
But I love you. Ella, you're not in love with someone else.
Yes, Charles, I am.
But who? I thought you hated them all. It must be Roscoe. He's the only one that's young enough.
Oh, no, Charles, not Roscoe. Especially not him. I do hate them all. They make me shudder.
Well, who is it then?
It's him.
Who?
The night watchman.
No, impossible.
I love him. He smells of the sun.
Ella.
Oh, it was wonderful the way it happened. Don't tell on me, Charles, or they'll punish me.
Oh, no.
I was careless, and there he was, coming around the corner in the ladies' lingerie department. I was caught. There were only some wax models and their underthings. There was nothing else to do. I slipped off my dress and stood still.
Oh, I see.
He stopped and looked at me. And Charles, he spoke to me. He said, "Say, honey, I wish they made him like you on 8th Avenue." Charles, wasn't that a lovely thing to say?
Personally, I should have said Park Avenue.
It doesn't matter what street. It was a lovely thing to say.
But what can you do about him? Ella, he belongs to another world.
Yes, to 8th Avenue. I want to go there, Charles, are you really my friend?
Yes, of course I am.
And I'll tell you. I'm going to stand there again in the lingerie department, so he'll see me.
And then?
Perhaps he'll speak to me again.
Ella, you're only torturing yourself.
No, because this time I shall answer him. He'll take me away.
Take you away? Oh, no, Ella, I couldn't bear that. You don't love him. You only think you do because you think he'll take you out of here, but you don't know that he will. And I will, Ella. I've made up my mind.
No, Charles, I couldn't let you do it. Even if I loved you, you couldn't do it, Charles.
Why not?
Because you really belong here. You've become one of them now.
Ella, you mustn't say that.
It's true. And, Charles, I've got to go. There's someone watching us. I feel it.
No, wait, Ella.
Goodbye, Charles.
No, Ella. Come back. Ella.
Please, old man. You'll arouse the night watchman.
Roscoe.
Yes. Oh, love can be very upsetting, can't it?
You heard?
Yes. Just the last moment or so. Very touching. Yet it's understandable. I've been attracted to Ella myself. So she loves another, Too bad, old boy. Who could it be? Could it be that I'm the cause of your heartbreak?
You flatter yourself too much, Roscoe.
Well, then whom? The old judge? Oh, certainly not. The colonel? Hardly.
None of those.
Oh, not one of the customers. The staff?
She loves the night watchman. Can you imagine that? She loves the...
Oh?
Roscoe, I shouldn't have said that. It's not true. At least I don't think it's true. You wouldn't... Roscoe, you said you loved her, too. You wouldn't do anything. Tell anybody. This is a secret between us. Between friends, isn't it?
Of course, old man. As secret as the grave.
She's young. Perhaps he'll leave and she'll forget him in time. Who knows? Perhaps she'll learn to love you. Or me.
Of course. In time.
And we'll figure a way to keep her safe here.
Absolutely safe. Now, don't you worry about it. It's almost dawn. Time for bed. Good morning, Mr. Snell.
Early evening, November 4th. I was a fool. I should have known he couldn't be trusted. He must have gone straight to Mrs. Vanderpant because this evening the atmosphere has changed. People flicker to and fro, smiling nervously, horribly with a sort of frightened, sadistic exultation. An informal dance in the record department has been called off. I can't find Ella. I'm going out again now to look for her. Roscoe, what have you done with her?
Shh. Quiet, old boy. The night watchman.
I don't care. What have you done?
Whatever I did was for your own good as well as for the good of us all.
Wait a minute. What is that? What are those people carrying? That's Ella. She's tied up. They're carrying... Ella! Ella!
Stop it, Charles. Stop it.
Oh, let me go.
Oh,
Let me
stop,
go.
Charles. Stop it. You'll arouse the night watchman.
No, they're taking her into the butcher shop. Roscoe.
Yes. Those are the dark men.
Good Lord. Midnight. I'm scribbling this last entry hurriedly. They are in there in the butcher shop with Ella. The dark men. There's only one thing to do. I'm going to find the night watchman and tell him. He and I will save her, if we can. And if we are overpowered, well, I will leave this pad on the stationery counter. Tomorrow, if I live, I will recover it. If I do not, whoever finds this and reads it, look in the store windows. Look for 3 new wax dummies. 2 men, 1 rather sensitive looking, and a girl. She has blonde hair and blue eyes, and her nose turns up a little. Look for us, and then find them. Smoke them out. Exterminate them.
Avenge us.
Oh, Sam, isn't it horrible?
Ah.
We got to do something. Tell somebody something. Oh, Sam, what'll we do?
Do? Well, nothing. Go to bed.
But Sam...
Well, whoever wrote this has sure got a weird sense of humor. It's probably some clerk down at Bracey's who ought to be fired.
But... You mean you think it's just a story?
Are you kidding? You don't believe this stuff, do you?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, forget it, baby. I want to snap out of it. I shouldn't leave you alone. You get too many ideas when I go out bowling at night.
But, don't you think maybe we ought to just, take it back and show somebody?
Oh, nuts. It's not worth the bother. They'd laugh at you, baby. They'd think you were crazy or something.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I was silly.
Forget it. Oh, come on. Let's go to bed. Huh? I'm tired.
Okay, Sam. Gee, you know, there for a while I sure was scared. I even forgot what I was going to tell you. Sam, I found the cutest dress today. Only $19.95.
Yeah, baby?
Yeah. It was in the window at Bracey's. It was on a beautiful little wax model with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a turned-up nose. And there were two men standing beside...
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson. And tonight brought you Evening Primrose by John Collier, adapted for radio by John Dunkel. With Elliot Lewis as Charles Snell, Paul Frees as Roscoe, and Pat Lowry as Ella. The special musical score was conceived and conducted by Cy Pure. Next week...
After you've had a tough day at the office, or leaning over a hot stove, when your four walls seem to be closing in on you, next week at the same time when you want to get away from it all, we again offer you Escape.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are at the Saturn City spaceport, following a man they believe to be a cousin of Prince Baccarati.
It's Benson, all right, sir. In the back, he looks just like Baccarati.
All right, huh? Let's close in. Just a minute, Benson.
Yes?
I thought you promised to stay on Saturn.
Oh, did I, Corey?
Commander, it's Prince Baccarati. Get him, Hap.
All right, Malengo, use your ray gun. That does it, Malengo. Get them aboard the ship. We'll give them a one-way trip to Planet X.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Spies from Planet X. Say, gang, have you met the twin space patrollers who've just moved in down the block a ways? A couple of real swell fellas and supercharged all the way. Well, now's your chance to meet them. Here they are.
Hi, Captain Tuesday. I'm Space Patroller Tom Smith. And I'm Space Patroller Danny Smith.
Man, oh man, am I seeing double? You look alike and you talk alike.
And we eat alike. We had our bite-sized checks today. How about you?
Did I have my bite-sized checks today? Did I have a big bowl full of rice checks or wheat checks? The best-tasting cereals from here to the outer orbit of Pluto? Well, you bet I did. I'm supercharged just like both of you. Now, Space Patroller, did you power up with that bite-sized Chex nourishment this morning? You know, no other cereal, flaked or puffed, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. That's why Rice Chex and Wheat Chex are official cereals of every Space Patroller in the universe. So, gang, take a tip from these supercharged twins. And every day before you blast off for school or play, have yourself a power breakfast with
bite-sized Rice Chex. Bite-sized Wheat Chex.
And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Spies from Planet X. In recent weeks, Buzz has successfully thwarted attempts by Prince Baccarati to sabotage United Planet's defenses. Space Patrol intelligence has been convinced that Prince Baccarati, former ruler of Neptune, was holed up in his fabulous castle on the remote Planet X, recouping his strength. But a Space Patrol agent has reportedly seen Baccarati in Saturn City. In response to this report, Commander Corie and Cadet Happy are speeding toward the planet Saturn.
Commander, if that really is Baccarati, he's sure got a lot of nerve.
All we know is that this man reported to be Baccarati has been dealing with the Zakra Importing Company at Saturn City.
Zakra Importing?
It's a small outfit, practically a one-man operation. It's run by Emil Zakra. Seems to specialize in knickknacks and curios from the different planets.
Well, do you think knickknacks would make Baccarati come all the way from Planet X and risk getting caught?
I can tell you more about that, Happy, when we talk to Mr. Zakra.
A few hours later, Buzz and Happy walked down a small side street in Saturn City. Most of the shops are closed for the day, except one shabby little store in which a dim green light casts a weird glow over shelves of dusty vases, statues, and carvings. A replica of an outmoded spaceship hangs above the door. On it, in luminous letters, are the words, Zakra Importing Company.
Here we are, Happy.
I don't see anyone inside. Maybe they're closed.
Try the door.
It's open.
Somebody must be here. Let's go in.
Oh, look at the dust. I wouldn't say business was exactly booming.
Anybody here? Let's try the back room.
Uh-oh. Commander, look. The man on the floor behind the counter.
He's still breathing. He'll be all right. Somebody struck him with a blunt knife.
Is it Zakra?
I don't know. Somebody's coming to behind this curtain. Hold it, Baccarati.
Huh?
You came back to finish the job, I suppose.
Job? What you talking about?
His voice, sir. His voice is different.
But he looks like Baccarati. What's your name?
Baccarat.
Huh?
I'm surprised to hear that name after all these years. Most people know me as Vance and Thomas Vance.
Are you related to Prince Baccarati?
My cousin. An unfortunate family resemblance.
I see. Well, take a look behind that counter and see if that man resembles anyone you know.
Hey, Doctor, what happened?
We thought perhaps you could tell us.
Why would I?
What are you doing here, Mr. Benson?
I was to see Doctor on business.
Were you expecting your cousin?
No, I should say not.
All right, Benson. We're going to get Mr. Zakra to a doctor, and we'll have a little talk at Space Patrol headquarters. While Cadet Happy scans the files for information on Thomas Benson, Commander Corie at Saturn City headquarters questions the man who bears such a striking physical resemblance to the evil Prince Baccarati. And you know absolutely nothing of your cousin's whereabouts.
Nothing, Commander. We haven't had any contact since
Well, since you were forced to leave Neptune, you were never very friendly, even with boys.
And your home is on Neptune. You're just visiting Saturn.
Yes, a business trip. I've been here about a week.
I've completed the check, Commander.
Thanks, Happy. Well, that'll be all, Mr. Benson, for the time being. Oh, you plan to be in Saturn City for a while?
Yes. Yes, I do, Commander. I'm at the Alcor Hotel.
Good. I may want to talk to you some more.
Call me any time. Good night, Commander.
Good night.
Yeah. That isn't the craziest thing. That guy's a dead ringer from Baccarati, but he sounds different and acts different.
What did you find out, Happy?
Oh, he's Thomas Benson, engaged in the manufacturing business on Neptune. First cousin of Prince Baccarati.
Go on.
Changed his name from Baccarati to Benson. And this will kill you, sir. At Prince Baccarati's request to save the family from embarrassment.
Oh?
Yeah, the prince didn't want to be disgraced by a cousin who worked.
Does Benson have any criminal record?
Oh, no, sir. Spends his spare time collecting little statuettes, Mercury jade, mostly.
Well, what about Dracula?
Well, he'll pull through all that, sir, but he's still in a coma. He hasn't got a record either.
I was hoping this cousin might be an important link in Prince Baccarati's spy ring. Somehow, Baccarati manages to get information to and from the United Planets and Planet X.
Yeah, and with the spacephone channels being monitored the way they are, and Planet X almost blocked.
There's a leak somewhere, Happy.
Well, it sure isn't Benson. Why, in a whole week, Benson's Space Patrol guard didn't see anyone get through to Benson that didn't have proper identification.
Space Patrol guard?
Yes, sir. Benson asked for special protection around his home in Neptune City a couple of weeks ago.
Why did he want special protection?
Well, he told the Neptune City chief he'd received an anonymous threat. Well, after a week, the chief figured it was just a crank and called the patrol off.
Why didn't you mention that before, Happy?
Well, gee, sir, I guess I figured it wasn't important. If Baccarati's cousin was spying for the prince, he wouldn't ask for Space Patrol protection, would he? Or would he?
Well, we're in Saturn City, Hap. I think we'll keep an eye on Thomas Benson. Meanwhile, far out in space, avoiding the regular space lanes, a space cruiser races toward Saturn. In it are Prince Baccarati and his scientific aide, Dr. Malengro.
Your disguise is excellent, Your Highness. If I hadn't helped you make up, I swear I'd never recognize you.
We'll pass the casual inspection. And since the Space Patrol has no reason to suspect that I'll be on Saturn, we'll have no trouble.
Suppose your cousin Thomas doesn't have the jewels with him on Saturn.
Of course he's got them. That's why he left Neptune and came to Saturn to hide the jewels. I know those threats would worry him, and when a man like my cousin is frightened, he doesn't trust his own judgment from one minute to the next.
In trying to find a safer place for the jewels, he practically brings them out into the open.
That's right. He thought it would be clever to conceal millions worth of jewels with a dealer in worthless junk like Zakra.
But evidently, Zakra knew nothing of the gems. I'm sure your agent could have made him talk.
My men bungled there. You should have known my cousin wouldn't trust a small shopkeeper with that much treasure. What Thomas had in mind probably was to conceal the gems in various bric-a-brac without Zakra's knowledge. My agent should never have struck Zakra. At least not until he was sure Thomas has completed his arrangements.
Yes, Excellency. Now your cousin will be frightened away.
We'll get the jewels all right, Melania. I've got to. I need them to pay off my agent. And to buy information, I need to keep ahead of Commander Corie.
Of course, Your Highness.
5 minutes out of Saturn today.
You've made excellent time from Planet X, Your Highness.
We won't have much to spare. Knowing Thomas the way I do, he's probably getting ready to leave Saturn to look for another place to hide his jewels.
Yes, Happy?
I've just picked up some information about Thomas Benson. He's booked passage on the Space Queen for Neptune for the night.
And he told me he was staying here on Saturn for a while. Well, let's get out to the spaceport and find out why Thomas Benson is suddenly anxious to return. At the Saturn City spaceport, Thomas Benson nervously paces back and forth in an almost deserted wing of a big terminal building, unaware that 2 men are watching his every move.
Attention, please. The Space Queen will blast off for Neptune in 20 minutes. Gate 9 is now open. Passengers are requested to board the ship immediately.
Just a moment, Thomas. What's your hurry?
I don't believe I know you. If you don't mind, I've got to get aboard.
Don't you recognize your own cousin?
You?
That's right. Your royal relation, Prince Baccarati. Now, if you'll be good enough to hand over those jewels, jewels. I haven't any jewels. Now, come, Thomas. At my father's death, you received quite a fortune in precious gems, and I want them.
So they're mine. He willed them to me.
He willed them to Baccarati. You have renounced our noble name. You're no Baccarati. You're just plain Thomas Benson. Now I need those jewels to restore the name Baccarati to its former luster in the solar system. You're mad. All geniuses are considered mad by the ordinary. And the stupid. I can put those gems to good use, Thomas. Now hand them over.
You don't think I'd be carrying them with me?
Perhaps not. And you're anxious to get back to Neptune. Therefore the jewels are still there. Very well. I'll take you to Neptune in my ship.
Oh, you can't. You're wanted by the Space Patrol if they catch you.
They won't catch me. You didn't recognize me, my own cousin. And Commander Corie walked within 20 feet of me while he was following you.
Corie? Here at the town?
Yes.
Good. You can't possibly take me away with Corie here.
Oh, and he knows who you are. He doesn't think you're Prince Baccarat.
He knows who I am. And if he tries to force me...
I have an idea. Get into this vacant room over there. We'll change clothes. And I'll remove this disguise. Hurry up. Or will I have to use it?
Attention, please. Gate 9 will close in 1 minute. Passengers bound for Neptune on the Space Queen must board the ship immediately.
What happened to Benson, sir? Did he fall? He may have. If he leaves the terminal, he'll be followed. Commander, look. Going through that other gate. Is that Benson? Oh, right. That gate leads to the private cruiser blast-off ramp. Oh, that Benson's pulling a fast one, huh? Come on, Hap, let's follow him. He's heading to the big private cruiser. He's in the shadow of this freight loading platform, Happy. All right, come on, let's close in. Just a minute, Benson.
Yes?
I thought you promised to stay on Saturn. Step over here into the light.
Anything to oblige, Corie?
Come here, it's Prince Baccarati.
Get him, Hap. All right, Malenko, use your ray gun. Needs to be done, Malenko. Now, help me get Corie and the cadet aboard my ship. After we get the jewels, we'll give the commander a one-way trip to Planet X.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
That was an F-86 Sabre jet fighter in actual combat in Korea. I'm George Welch, Chief Test Pilot of the Sabre jet at North American Aviation in Los Angeles. The Sabre is 37 feet long, weight 8 tons. The wings are swept back at a 35-degree angle, and their span is 37 feet. The top speed of the Sabre jet is more than 650 miles an hour. I was lucky enough to make the first flight in the F-86 Sabre jet. The first time up for the 50th, every flight is important. That's why I have to keep in top shape. I like to eat good food with lots of energy in it. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex meet that test, and they taste exactly right. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex.
And now, back to the spies from Planet X.
Prince Baccarati donned a disguise and came to Saturn to steal a fortune in precious gems from his cousin Thomas Benson, who closely resembles the evil prince. Thinking they were following Benson, Buzz and Happy were overpowered by Baccarati and Dr. Malengro, and now are captives in the prince's private cruiser heading toward Neptune. In the compartment with them is their fellow prisoner, Thomas Benson.
I'm telling you the truth, Commander. I was only going back to Neptune to protect my people.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
I realized I should have told you everything, but I didn't want to bring my cousin's name into it. You see, I managed to live down the fact that I'm a Baccarat. I wanted to avoid unpleasant publicity.
Someone's outside the door.
I can only with my hands free.
Take it easy, Hap.
Gentlemen, are you enjoying the trip?
Well, Baccarati, going to a masquerade?
I've resumed my disguise. You see, we'll be landing on Neptune in a few minutes. And after my cousin gives me the jewels from his vault, I shall remove my disguise and return to my ship as Cousin Thomas.
You're going to leave me in Neptune City, then?
Yes. When I have the jewels, you'll be of no further use to me, cousin.
Why do you need the jewels, Baccarati? I understood you were rich.
Yes, but it costs quite a bit to maintain my spy system under United Planets, Commander. And you must admit it's quite effective.
It has been so far, Baccarati. Frankly, I don't see how you do it. I mean, maintain contact between Planet X and your agent.
I might as well tell you, Corey, since there is nothing you can do about it. I have a robot receiving station on Saturn's 8th moon.
Funny we haven't picked up any messages from it.
Not at all. You see, there are no transmitters at the station, merely receivers. But what good does it do for a robot just to receive messages? They're recorded on tape and automatically indexed electronically for the agent they're intended for.
And your spies visit moon number 8 in spaceships, get them information and instructions, and go back to work.
Exactly. An occasional innocent-looking prospecting ship visiting the deserted moon never arouses suspicion.
Very clever, Baccarati.
Thank you, Commander. Now, Cousin Thomas, I'll release you. We're about to land, Corey. You and the cadet will remain in the ship till I return. Dr. Malengo will see that you're come.
A few moments later, two men of almost identical size and build get out of a surface car in front of a handsome dwelling in Neptune City. They enter the building and proceed to a large room. Nervously, one of the men presses a button in the wall, and the panel slides silently.
You can feel, Thomas. I'll open the safe.
I can't remember the combination.
I have a few tricks that will jog your memory.
Very sensitive electronic combination lock. I don't think I can do
Just try it and quit stalling. Open it.
The jewel for him. That jewel box.
Open it up. Not that I doubt your honesty, of course. Are you sure this is all of them?
Yes.
All right. I'll be running along now, Thomas. First, I'll take the precaution of using this ray gun on you. After all, I couldn't have you setting an alarm till I'm safely on my way back to Planet X.
Removing his disguise, Prince Baccarati boldly returns to the Neptune City spaceport, boards his ship, and blasts off. Now, an hour later, with Dr. Malengo at the controls and the ship headed toward Planet X, the Prince taunts his prisoner, Commander Corbett.
You see, Commander, everything is working fine. Here are the jewels.
What did you do with your cousin, Baccarati?
Oh, he'll be all right in a few hours. You know, for years I hated the idea that Thomas looked like me. It offended my sense of individuality. Now I'm glad of it. Oh, the approach warning. Something's wrong.
Space Patrol ship approaching at 2 o'clock, Your Highness. What are your orders?
Space Patrol ship? Confound it. Thomas couldn't have put an alarm in this quickly. Hurry, come out front with me. Get moving.
See it, Your Highness?
Of course I see it. That's why I brought Corie out here. We can use him to persuade the ship not to fire on us.
Excellent idea, Your Highness.
Wait. That's a robot starship.
That's right, Baccarati. It's sending out electronic information on your position and vector.
I'll fix that, Malengo. Use the proton gun.
At once, Excellency.
Hurry up. That's it before it can relay our vector. Stand right where you are, Corie.
I got it, Your Highness.
Lone True Six. Good work, Malengo.
It certainly is. Now there won't be any doubt that patrol ships will come after you.
What do you mean?
When that robot ship stops sending a space phone signal, a squadron will immediately come here to investigate.
Malengo, change our vector.
Where to, Your Highness?
Any place but toward Planet X. Head for Saturn moon number 8. I can hide out there till we learn it's safe to return to Planet X. Come on, Corie, back to your compartment. Change vector, sir. Where's he taking
He wants to hide out on moon number 8. A smart move, huh?
Yeah. Commander, what's that in here? It's the jewel box.
Mm-hmm. I managed to pick it up while Baccarati was excited over the space station.
That's right. So what good are they going to do us?
I don't know.
Except it'll worry Baccarati when he misses him. Can't stand on. Yes. There's a locker under that seat. See if we can get it open.
One of some weapons in here. Just some spaces with some tools.
How many spaces?
3. And here's an combo port. Hey, we could cut our way out of the compartment and watch Baccarati and Malenko.
And they're armed. If we failed, it would be our last chance.
With these spacesuits, maybe we could get out of the ship. I know, through the cargo loading tube.
Happy, get those suits out. I'll go to work on the door with the atomo torch. Take the spacerphone out of the third suit.
There's no sign of a ship in the viewscope, Your Highness.
Good. And we've thrown them out. If we can reach moon number 8, we'll be in the clear.
Commander Corey calling all space patrol units, the Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn sectors.
Listen, it's for...
How did he get his spacesuit?
I don't know. The locker. He got into the locker. Those extra spaces. Come on, we got to stop him.
Commander Corey to all space patrol units. Vince Baccarati is heading towards Saturn moon number 8 in a private cruiser. Be careful. The ship is armed with a proton gun.
They're gone. They're out of the compartment.
Your Highness, they must have left the ship, the cargo chute. They've escaped.
Wait. Back to the control compartment. Hurry.
I'm unable to give the registry number of Baccarati's ship, but it's a Class B cruiser. His vector is approximately 40 degrees sun-regulus orientation.
Confound it, Malenko. He'll have every ship in the universe after us.
Look out the starboard viewport. There they are.
I knew it. They're floating along with the ship.
Now, what is that Corey's call? I hope they haven't heard him yet.
They will, soon enough. The proton gun. That will fix him.
But, Your Highness...
Get out of my way. We got to stop Corey. And that proton gun will do the trick.
Your Highness will only...
Attention all space patrol units. This is an emergency.
This will silence him.
Commander Corey calling all units. This is an emergency.
Please, without a trace.
Now, that will take care of Corey from here.
If we can't continue to moon number 8, someone may have heard his spacesuit.
We'll change back to again. Perhaps we can proceed directly to Planet X. The space patrol will be... Oh, no.
What's the matter, Your Highness?
The jewel. Well, where is the jewel box? I had it in my hand a while ago.
That's what I was trying to tell you, Your Highness. You put them there on the edge of the control panel when that robot ship appeared. Corey must have taken them when you weren't looking.
My treasure. Corey had it when the proton gun blew him up. My tools disintegrated. Why didn't you warn me?
I see, Your Highness.
You idiot! I have to think of everything around here. Now what are we going to do?
You won't need those jewels now, Baccarati.
Corey!
Take care of Malenko, Happy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Baccarati.
Are you going to be sensible, or shall I fix it so nobody will mistake you for your cousin?
You wait, Corey. I've had enough.
Did you cover it, Happy?
Yes. I thought you were in those spacesuits.
Sure you did. I didn't want you searching your ship for the spacephone I was really using, so I used 2 suits as decoys. We're heading for moon number 8. You're going to show me that robot receiving station, Baccarati. A few hours later, Buzz sets Baccarati's cruiser down on the rocky surface of Saturn's moon number 8. Then he and Happy hold ray guns on Malenko and Baccarati as the 4 men, clad in spacesuits, step out on the airless Saturn.
Keep moving, Baccarati. Stand at the foot of this big cliff, Corey. You and Malenko go first. Watch your step, Happy. That's quite a drop. Move along, Malenko. You're in my way. You're right. Baccarati, grab Malenko. He's falling. Oh! Grab that ledge. He's got it, sir. All right. Steady now, Malenko. I've got to pull with your arm. And hang on to me. Yes, sir. All right, now. Pull. I've got you, sir. Now, just relax, Malenko. You're all right. There. Sorry, mess, Malenko. So watch it next time. Now, it looked to me as though Baccarati pushed Malenko instead of trying to help him. Where is Baccarati? Smoking rockets, he's gone. I forgot all about him trying to save Malenko. Happy, he's climbed up and headed for the ship. You watch Malenko. I'll go up after him. Yes, sir. Oh, it's too late. There he goes. All right. Hey, get that. Baccarati's willing to kill this guy to make a getaway, and Malenko says, good luck. I have an idea Baccarati won't get very far. Space patrol ships will be showing up pretty quick. Commander, the proton gun. Baccarati can blast us to bits. Not without the proton firing sound. I removed it from the gun right after the fight. I took that along with the jewels. Oh, boy, that sure saved our lives. Come on. Let's get down to the receiving station. That information, we can round up Baccarati's spies in a few hours. An action preview of next week's exciting adventure in just a moment. Hi, Space Patrollers. It's the day of the big parade on Terra, and just about every Space Patroller and his little brother have turned out to watch the fun. Man, it sure is a swell parade. Now, hey, wait a minute. What's that coming down the street now? Why, it's the Space Patrollers Drum and Bugle Corps number 5, all the way from Venus City, Venus. Wow, just listen to those supercharged bugles and hear those supercharged drums. One thing for sure, these Space Patrollers had their bite-sized checks today. And how about you, gang? You know, the best way in the universe to start off the day is with a big bowl full of bite-sized rice checks or wheat checks. Because no other cereal, flake, or puff contains so much energy in such concentrated bite-sized form. Yes, sir, you're packing in plenty of vitamins and minerals with every delicious bite you take. And that means Energy Plus for you. And remember, Space Patrollers, September is Better Breakfast Month. Getting a good, big breakfast every morning is important because you haven't had anything to eat for hours and hours. So before you march off for the day, have yourself a better breakfast, a real Space Patrol breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy have trapped one of Prince Baccarati's spies in a sub-basement in Jupiter City.
No use, Happy. We could never break it down.
That's right, Corey. You can't escape.
Coming from that speaker up there. Sergeant, listen to me.
You listen to me. I'm getting off this planet, Corey. Prince Baccarati tipped me off that a guided missile has been launched toward Jupiter City. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Be sure to join us again next week for the thrilling story, Target Jupiter, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Wilson again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devers. Other players were Bela Kovacs, Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Dick Beals. Dick Tufel speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Wilson again present Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.